Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
All right, guys. All right. How is everybody doing out there today? It's Tuesday night, guys, and I'm your host, Elder Rawchaa from the Gathering of Christ Church, Elder over Houston. Peace and blessings. Good to see you guys out there. Hopefully everybody's staying warm out there. I know up north on the East Coast it's probably getting a little colder with temperatures are dropping. We're actually getting a little cooler here in Texas. Well, really, it's just a beautiful part for us because we're being able to finally enjoy some fall weather. I mean, we got a little bit in the beginning, and it kind of turned back into summer in the middle. And as we're going forth into winter, we're enjoying some of this fall weather. It's been some very beautiful days. So even with everything going on, I mean, you just have to thank the Most High for every peaceful moment or time that you can get, and just don't take anything for granted or people for granted or the things that He have blessed you with for granted, right? And tonight we'll be talking about something that He blessed us with that we do not want to take for granted, which is His temple. All right, so shalom everyone. Peace and blessings. Sorry about that. Had to sneeze. Some allergies come with some of this weather sometimes, but we're making it through. I'm gonna have to go out there pretty soon and pull some of that honey out, and we'll definitely, when we do that, try to show that on G.O.C.C media. Shalom, Sister Tabitha from Humble Servants Homestead. Shalom, everybody. Yeah, tonight we're just going to try to stay on for a little bit, and just to try to keep people motivated, encouraged, and up to date, and in tune with their health, their mind state, their discipline, and things like that, right? So, yeah, it's good to see everybody. I hope you guys were tuned into the Hebrew and Bible Academy, because we were on there. We were on there this past week on Sunday. And we went into a topic about the gut and brain connection. Okay, we went on there about the gut and brain connection. And next time I come on there, I'm going to see what interesting topic I will be bringing forth as I just continue in my daily studies when it comes to what I do. Shalom, everybody. Those of you who are coming in, make sure you hit the like button. I really appreciate you. If you say you're not on it and you can't afford it, just maybe get with your area leader in your area. If you're a part of our local church, I would hope, and you're in regular attendance and things like that, get with them, and maybe we will see possibly we can fit you in. I know that happens from time to time. I can't speak for them, but yeah, definitely all praises. Who was that? The information I dropped on there was pretty powerful. Thank you, Mr. Harris, Mr. Hebrew Harris. Shalom, sir. I try to, like I said, I sometimes I'm studying this stuff for years, and I'm just holding on to it in my notes. I go through trials and errors and experiments and tests, and But I'm going to tell you, when it comes to the gut, I probably have been studying that for many, many years, since I was a young man back in Egypt. And we're just constantly getting more and more information right now after 2020. So as a matter of fact, today we're going to be going through a beautiful book here. And I'm giving away some of these books for Academy members, and some of them I will give away on this show as well. But I'm going to be giving this away to some Academy members who take the Academy. Speaking of that, while we're here, before we go into the show, without further ado, we're going to speak about this Academy really quick. The website, for those of you who may be new to our page, our channel, we do have more than one channel. Our main channel is A Gathering 144, and we do broadcast there on Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays. Okay, and we do a Patreon on Friday at times for Patreon members, and on G.O.C.C. Media, we show different types of media. I mean, we may show, we got a few shows like my show tonight. We have Deacon Hazak, Elder Rawchaa may come on Friday sometimes, and we also may just show different forms of media, whether we're in the kitchen, whether we're exercising, whether we are dealing with some music, whether it's baptism. This page is for just different types of media, okay? And just to get another tool to get people through the week, okay? On my show tonight, it's just a little relaxed. We try to dive into just many different topics of truth preparation and just getting the mind state right in the body for where the Most High will bring us according to His will in this future to come. So, really quick though, I have here our website, historytimes.org, okay? If you don't know about it, if you are new and you want to learn in warp speed, this will get you right. Okay, this will get you right. So all you have to do is go to historytimes.org, okay? And you can get your Sunday morning dose, okay? Let's go down here really quick just to show you a few things that we teach. All right. I think we were in week 9 last week. This Academy's lessons: creation, the origin of the spirit realm, tracing the serpent seed, how Lucifer became the chief Satan, Christ and the keys to spiritual warfare, the craft, the priesthood of Satan versus the priesthood of the Most High God, AI, technology, and the mark of the beast. So, we have all of these powerful lessons, and they don't always do the same lessons. Sometimes they will bring in older lessons if you haven't experienced those lessons. And when I say old, I don't mean it in a condescending way. I mean like all of the lessons are powerful, but you may not have experienced those lessons. They're all powerful, but sometimes people have different requests, and we try to keep it different, okay, because and interesting. Now, the beautiful part about this academy is that you learn a whole lot. It brings you up to speed, makes one very studious when it comes to reading the Bible. And I personally suggest especially the men, I mean, all the sisters should take it too, but I'm saying especially the men, you understand, to come and get this power pack lesson. For if you're a man who really wants to understand your God, understand our history, our past, understand everything as much as possible, especially in these short times that we're in, I suggest that you definitely take it. I always tell men, if you're going to get married, I think that you should take this course. Because what I notice is a lot of young people getting married, and we're going to speak about that in the near future. Not fully equipped. Not a blame, but a lot of us are coming from the broken home. So a lot of young men did not have their fathers and, or mentors in place. So that's our job as leaders and elderly men or older men or mature men, to be examples to them. And if you come to an elderly man of Christ and he tells you the truth, you got to be ready to accept the truth. And my thing is, I'm going to tell you, have you taken the Hebrew and Bible Academy? Are you working? Are you trying to build your foundation, get your finances in order? Are you working on your maturity? Because you'll get into a marriage and you'll be trying to get out as soon as you got in it. And that's just the reality of it. And then you'll be begging for counsels over and over, and then you'll be begging for somebody to divorce you, no different than what Moses was doing while he got frustrated. So we're going through the same thing Moses was going through, but now we have the answer. Christ said, basically, you can't just divorce. So basically, you better make sure that when you're getting a woman, that you go through all of these bullet points, making sure you're on point too, so that, if it ever came down to that, that you did everything that was required of you. Because Christ said, listen, we can't just be getting with women and then they don't please me, now I need somebody else. No, you got to take time and really get yourself right and really pray and get counsel to see who you're getting with. Because we already been suffering from broken homes and splitting marriages. It's just another thing today. Like, people stay together 10 years and they just done. It's just a normal thing in Israel. So the topic is not going to be about that tonight, but we will be speaking about that in the near future, okay? And they do have a lesson on marriage that they do also in the academy. So I do want to put that out there. How long is it? It is actually 3 months, okay? It's a 3-month online Hebrew and Bible and history course, which includes 12 weeks of live historical biblical lessons, viewable for 30 days each, from Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? Via a private Ustream link where Elder Lawya comes on there and teach Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, because I know a lot of, sorry guys, I know a lot of Nigerians know that they're Igbo. As a matter of fact, I was looking for a few things not too long ago, and I spoke to a Nigerian man, a pastor, and he said, "Oh yes, I know I'm Igbo, but they don't really, to be honest, they don't really understand what this is about. It have been a lost culture. It have been lost for them. They know that they're Hebrews. That part they do know, but they don't really know. Like, he even told me, like, where they're from, that they do things like the Jewish people. So when you hear Africans saying that, they don't really know what they're talking about. They just know that they're Hebrew, and that's it. Because if it was so important to them, we would already know who we are. Okay? Just so I can put that out there. So he actually wanted to sit down with me so I can help him go through some of this, because he's like, "Your name is Rawchaa and that's Hebrew?" I said, "Yeah, it's not like the Yiddish." So he was just totally confused. So he said, "I'm going to have to sit down with you and go through some of this stuff." Really nice man. But anyway, you can learn all that in here. Elder Lawya is teaching the Hebrew. Elder Rawchaa, my brother out there in the, you understand, UK, because we got churches everywhere, he teaches the world news. Elder Rawchaa comes right back on with Elder Lawya, and they teach these powerful lessons that we just named. We do also have guests, like myself, who came on last week. We have actors, people that's going to talk about health and fitness and things like that, okay? So I had to bring that out there really quick. And you cannot, once you join, okay, we reserve the right to change our policy without notice if the integrity or longevity of the academy is jeopardized. If you join, this is for you. This is not for you to just put on in the TV and the whole household. This is like a college study lesson for you and your salvation. Let them, if they're serious about something, usually when something is important for someone, they put their money where their mouth is. A person's mind or heart is where their treasure is, and vice versa, okay? So it does come with PDF booklets. And if you just so happen to if you can't view it on Sunday because you work or something, you can get the recorded lesson. So I just wanted to put that out there really quick. Alrighty, historytimes.org. So guys, health, healing, and fitness longevity. I will be coming on here because it have been asked for a long time, showing basic workouts. When I say workouts, I'm not talking about for people who should already know how to work out. Now, I mean like people who already know. I'm talking about for people who don't know, whether you're young or old, things that you can do to prolong your life. I'm not really going to teach you like exactly everything about how to be a bodybuilder, but I'm just talking about general, basic, very basic. You are supposed to do your research from there to get better and to add onto that. But some people have no clue about anything. Some people just waste away and they just like, I've tried this for a little bit. It's not working. I don't know what to do. So sometimes, guys, I'm actually going to pre-record what you can do. And this is just going to help you on so many levels. This is going to help you to live longer, have a healthy heart, healthy organs, healthy gut, healthy state of mind. All right. And just overall good health with your husband and your wife and all that. Okay. So, yeah. Before we start, I want to get a scripture really quick. Health, healing, and fitness and longevity. And then I have to go and I have to go and blow my nose really quick because excuse me. I want to get this first scripture really quick. Okay. One moment. We're at 1 Timothy 4. Okay. Let me see with it. Okay, so it's at 8. 1 Timothy 4 and 8. 1 Timothy 4 and 8 says, "For bodily exercise profited little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of life that now is, and of that which is to come." Now, the reason I'm bringing that out is exercise can be a very good benefit if you use it in a spiritual, wise manner. If you use it for carnality, like the old term sex sells and all that, it really becomes pointless and void after a while. And we're going to speak about that, okay? So let me put this video on. All right. Let me go fix myself up really quick. Let me put this video on really quick so we can get back and be clear. Because this weather's all over the place. All right. So let me see the first thing I want to put on here. We're going to put her. We're not going to put her on just yet because I want to be here before we put her on. One moment. Fair use educational purposes only. Let me bring back, let me see here. One moment. Fair use for educational purposes only. One moment. Let me fix it up for you.
For long-term function is being able to stay upright. So it's all great that you're making big arms and have upper body strength, can do pull-ups and lift your suitcase above the airplane.
Thanks.
But what you really want to do when you're 97 is walk anywhere you want to, go up and down the stairs, drive any car you want to, and that takes lower body strength. So all your biggest muscles in your body are below your belly button. So if I were you and had all this trajectory of time, I would work equally as hard on my glutes, my quads, my hamstrings, my calves, every muscle below your body. But not only would I work on my strength to get bigger, but I would focus on power. And those are different lifting techniques, right? The hypertrophy aspect of growing big muscles because they look really great. You do now, and I am not a trainer, but I've done this quite a while. So trainers, you're welcome to add in, but you do more reps of lighter weights because that will stimulate hypertrophy. If we're truly building
Hypertrophy.
a growth of muscle,
Okay.
bigger biceps, if we're truly interested in power and longevity, which is why I lift for longevity and power, because I am not going to be that little old lady frail in a bed unless I can help it, right? I mean, I'm going to help it. I'm so determined. I want to be able to lift heavy. So that is fewer reps, but much heavier weight. So number one, you got to lift with your legs. Number two, people become frail for a number of reasons, but another reason people lose their independence is they lose their ability to balance, and they're falling all the time. And when you fall, no matter how good your bones are, you're liable to break something. And so I always train my people not only in muscle building or carrying a load, as I like to call it, but in equilibrium and foot speed. So in the place I put my office, it's a performance center. It's surrounded with all the bells and whistles of the best performance stuff. And we have a speed and agility coach who usually works with elite Division I track athletes. Well, I had her design foot speed and agility drills for midlife people because I do this all the time. I put my red work bag too close to my desk. I get up quickly, my bag's in the way, and I trip. But because I've got the foot speed, I can hop over it. Mm-hmm. But if I hadn't retrained that, I might have tripped over it and landed on my hip and broken something. So it's important as we're going forward. Yes, I want you to increase your muscle lifting in your lower body, but I want you to work on speed and agility drills so you stay nimble, stay able to balance and don't fall down.
If you fall down, if you tripped over your bag, what's the knock-on effect of that? Because you just heal, right?
I just heal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ran a Spartan race recently and fell off an 8-foot ring and didn't break. So I am working towards being unbreakable in my own life.
And let me tell you something. I remember when I have very wide hands, but they were not as long. So I was able to palm a basketball, but sometimes my hands would get very slippery. So sometimes I would go up there and try to grab the rim when I was in like 9th grade. And I would slip off and I fell straight on my back a few times. But those gym floors are so soft, but I'm talking about from 10 feet high. But when we're always moving and tumbling and just doing things that, that is going to make our bone density stronger and just different things like that. Well, if we fall, we're less likely to break something, fracture something, and heal faster. Okay? So I just want to put these things out there. Yes, exercise can make one look good and very aesthetic. That's why they call it calisthenics. Calisthenics is a body weight exercise. It's Greek for beautiful muscle. Now, just having beautiful muscle is just one part of it. But the insides have to also be healthy. So this carnal work of exercise, it has a negative and a positive, like anything does. And usually I notice that our sisters, and I mean the sisters who were just not taught or just don't know any better, they break up with a man and, they break up with a man and everything that the man was trying to ask them, they end up getting in shape for another man only to be put right back into the position of having another baby, possibly getting into more broken home curses type of issues, become pregnant and be out of shape again. It happens, guys. That's just, and it's many different scenarios, many different shoes people walk through. And it's no blame. I'm just saying, it's a lot of carnality to it. Most of the women have found a way to get in shape because they have nothing else going for them. Hey, I'm like, hey, you know what? It's still positive for them to get up and get some type of discipline. But if it's going to turn into something for Satan, what's the whole point of it? What are you trying? You have to ask yourself, when I'm getting in shape, shouldn't it be to be healthy? Overall, of course, if you have discipline, the Most High have blessed you with a cherry on top, the look. But what are you trying to accomplish is the goal. A question. What are you trying to accomplish if you're just having a good body and never get married? And why am I speaking of this? You have a generation where a lot of young women are supposed to be pregnant and married. They have these nice flat stomachs, and us older men have something we could say about that. But they don't want to get pregnant and married because they don't want to lose that stomach. So personally, when I see these pictures of these young, fine girls on Instagram, I mean, yeah, they are fine. They're beautiful. Carnal wise, they're not for me. I got my fine wife. Hey, you're right. We all of us men have our fine daughter of Zion, but anybody can be fine on the outside. But what I'm saying is, they want to keep that outward carnal body forever and never do what the scripture says. Why a woman was born to be fruitful and to multiply. So what's the point of you being born? Just to show off your outward appearance? What's the point of that? So you're born now to become an idol. So you've went from the point of the irony of that. You've went from the point of being idle to turning into an idol. Do you understand? You went from the point of being idle, getting a form of discipline, which is godly, and turning yourself into an idol. You don't want to get pregnant. Oh, I don't want to have kids. Guys, the whole point of life is to be fruitful and multiply. Not that everybody had to have children, but most of the women I'm seeing now on social media, it's all about their look, how many guys they can get, and once they've settled down, once they've been, broken down, now they want to get married later. And some women will say that to a man that he's wrong if he doesn't pick those women, that he should forgive too. He can still forgive and still get him something that haven't been broken down. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with a man forgiving if that's what he decides to do too. Some of us, we do these things, but at the same time, I want to show you that there's two sides to this exercise thing of why the scripture had to say that, because it can become very vain. When men, once again, we talk about it a lot. When men are online, who wants to see a man pulling his pants down to see his Ken doll obliques going down? Like, what's the point of that? That really goes back to erotica, Greek, and fantasy. That's not how Israelites are. That's just not how Israelites are, okay? I'm not trying to be over righteous. I get it. We all watch TV shows where we're going to see a man take his shirt off, blah, 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 whatever. But what I'm saying is, what we're doing this for is longevity, for spiritual discipline, to keep our overall health on point and people to not have fear of death. You see, Satan can also use fear of death to you because you are idle and lazy. And when you're like that, we spoke about it in the academy. Your mind is different. Your hormones move different. Your metabolism is not flowing because you are not moving. You're working a desk job. It's all good. But let me tell you, one thing I used to do when I used to work at a lot of jobs, I would take a break and do push-ups. I would take a break and do squats. I would do it periodically through the whole day. It would keep my blood flowing. It would keep me disciplined. And because I didn't have time necessarily to go to the gym, I pretty much did about 500 push-ups through that whole day. Okay, I'm doing squats and push-ups, and I still kept a nice, healthy body until I had time to maybe go to the gym or whatever the case may be. Okay, now what this doctor is talking about is that when you're working the legs, once again, we're going to have some other videos about it today, but when you're working those legs, this is the foundation of the body. If the foundation of the body is not strong, like a building, it's eventually going to fall. Shalom, Sister Angela, right? The building or the temple will eventually fall. And it just so happens that some of the insulin receptors are in those legs. It's not about having the biggest legs. It's about them being very purposeful, strong, all right? So that you can stand, you can squat. Just like the people we see who may not have as much as us in the third world countries. They can still squat, they can still move. So let us not, because we have these things that are at bay, take advantage of it. Let me tell you something. Our God loves us. Especially those of us who are in America. It's something about, I'm going to tell you something. It's something about these Jews over here in America. They're in captivity. Spoiled and spoiled. Meaning, we've been taken in war, but also we're living a better life than people in third world countries, even though we're slaves. We have more than people in a third world country as slaves. More opportunity and all that, even though they owe us a lot. But I'm saying we should not take what we have for granted. I'm not saying it's easy either. It's not easy for every person. But still, hey, I'm going to show you some videos of how people are living over there unhealthy in some of these other countries, okay? So the main thing is understanding those hips. Need to keep moving. Those legs. And I'm going to tell you an easy way to do it. Start squatting. Start squatting every day. I don't mean go all out in the first day, in the first week. I mean, hey, work your way up to start squatting every day. Start twice this week. I'm talking about for some of you who don't do anything and feel like you don't have hope or feel like you don't know what to do. Let me tell you something. You're going to be able to produce growth hormone, whether you're a woman or man, to balance out those hormones. You say, hey, you know what? I'm going to squat Monday. Okay? I'm going to squat Monday. And then I'm going to squat Friday or Thursday. And I'm going to rest on the Sabbath, and I'm going to start it again. And then next week you say, you know what? I'm going to do that again. I'm going to add a little bit more squats. And then the next week you add 3 days. You do that for another week or two. And then you add 4 days. Eventually you should be squatting 5 days a week. And I'm talking definitely about people who really don't have a strenuous exercise plan. I'm talking about something that, like a person who's really going hard. Because they're going to be doing body weight squats. It doesn't produce the biggest muscle, but it does produce a very nice muscle. Very nice legs. It can do just as much almost. Okay? Now, if you add a little weight, hey, you can take that up even to another notch. Now, why am I saying this? Because we're going to talk about that. I want you guys to call in the show, Lewis Bullock. If you have questions, just call in the show, okay? We're gonna open up the lines tonight. I'm not going to try to be on here explaining everything too long. You can call in the show. If you have questions and you want to know, call in. I just can't read the chat to answer every question. All right, because I know there's some different situations out there, but just call me. Let me tell you, I do it all. So I just wanted to put this out there really quick of what she was talking about. We're not going to play her whole video. All right. 1 second. Let's get this example, and it's just not just a picture. Read this really quick. Humans have a second heart, so to speak, in their calves that pumps blood back to the chest. And it needs movement to prevent clots. Once again, this is just not something that's made up. All right? let's go to experiencelife.lifetime.life. We have many links we could have went to. I just picked any one. Heart and cardiovascular health. Once again, too many people are sitting. I have friends, older friends. I have a lot of older friends, guys. I've always made older friends. I just love the elderly people. That's just, I love them. I just been taught to honor my elders. So, I sometimes go and train a man who's like a stepfather to me. He's not with my mom. He's just a friend. Okay. But I sometimes go and train him. Really good friend of mine. And, you know, he sits down and works all day at a desk. So he goes to get massages. He goes to get aligned, all of these different things. But you'll have to keep doing that forever. It's going to come a time where you have to really get off your behind and get to the gym. So I take him to the gym. We work out. And I noticed something, that if he's really consistent, he's doing good. But because he is sitting down so much, he will still have some issues. This is how important it is for you to continue to do this. I'm going to say it again. This is how important it is for you to continue. If you drink, like we all like to every now and then, guys, if you drink coffee, guys, what? If you over deal with caffeine, guys, dehydration. I don't care what you say, how smart you think you are, what book you're going to read. The books you're going to read is going to tell you what I'm saying, especially today's alcohol. Now, I got some stuff I make at home with my wine. Even my son, my stepson, Joshua, who's a UFC fighter, he told me, man, he sipped a little bit of that thing. He still woke up without a hangover. Drunk the other regular stuff they sell at the stores, and not the cheap stuff. Guess what? Hangover. It's something about, and we'll talk about that in a whole nother lesson. It's something about how they're doing things today. These things dehydrate you. Every time for years, I've been working out my whole life, really. My stepdad was in the military, so even when we got in trouble, we had to do a push-up hold, 30 minutes. Let me tell you, if you drop down, you getting that behind waxed. So not only, let me tell you, we drop down, we getting that behind waxed. That's the discipline that I was under. No holds barred. No, you couldn't be a mark. You couldn't cry for no reason. You couldn't try to sneak and go ask mommy for a fruit. You need to go and face men. And that's the problem with young men today. A side note. They're afraid to face men. And for men to tell them no. But anyway. So we were used to these things. Okay? We have to get back to this. Let's get back on the alcohol and the caffeine. I've been working out so long. And what I notice is I know my body. I can eat something today and I know why I'm sick. Whatever. My wife knows. I know my body exactly. I know exactly why I do everything. What happens. I know my body. And I notice every time I drink, it'll be a day or two later. And I'm talking about alcohol that I didn't make. I will go and lift. And once I get to, after warming up and lift something heavy, pull a muscle every time for years. It dehydrates you so bad, messes up your electrical system in your body and your nerves. Period. And listen, I'm telling you facts. So if some of you work out and you know that you're like, why do I have sciatica? Why do I have this cramp? You're dehydrated. A lot of you like to drink too much. And so you're getting in shape with drinking. That's actually getting you out of shape. Guess what? A little wine is okay. A little alcohol. A lot of this alcohol that you see out there, listen, I'm not against nobody throwing them back. I get it. You ain't getting drunk. It's all lawful. But I'm just going to tell you something. I'm just going to tell you, I honestly feel much more better when I'm not drinking. Just telling you the truth. The alcohol takes my strength down by 25%, in my opinion. And I don't know the exact percent. But I noticed if I got 315 pounds, for example, and I'm benching, it's easy for me when I'm not drinking. When I'm drinking, it feels like it's my first time trying to do it almost. I'm telling you the truth. And it's the most frustrating thing for a man when you lose your strength. I'm telling you from maximum experience. Because I am above average strong. And I'm not even joking. I'm like, God bless me. He blessed me with that. So if I wanted to be like these famous people, it's vanity. I got a few people who I work out with who can be that. Rawchaa can be that. I mean, he sit down and curl. He working out with me curling the whole 45 ball with the 45s. And that was just the first set. We just curl. He's curling that. He's curling that without effort. So it's some people who if they wanted to be famous on YouTube, guys, we're Israelites. That's nothing like hard to do. Some of us are in this for like a real reason to help others and to do the will of the Most High. So what I'm telling you is, I know my body. And if you're going through that, that's probably why you're going through it. You are taking too much of something. Too much. The Bible says a little. So you wonder why your nerves are all out of whack. Your nutrients off. You lack magnesium. Okay? You lack magnesium. You lack vitamin C. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people are against ascorbic acid and all this stuff. Listen, you're not the people from the past. I'm sorry to tell you, you're not. Your soil is depleted of nutrition. So find your vitamin C the best way you can. But I've taken a lemon and I've taken a lime, which are now grafted on trees to grow those same fruit. And unfortunately, it is not doing the same thing as the ascorbic acid. I'm just telling you the truth. Because it will mess up the enamel on my teeth. And when I take too much lemon, I feel dehydrated. I'm just telling you the truth. I sell supplements. If you do not have enough vitamin C for your immune system, and you lift like us with high, heavy volume, and you're doing 1,000 reps, if you're doing 50 reps a set, you're tapping into something called the central nervous system. You're not tapping in just to hypertrophy or building muscle. You're now tapping into the central nervous system, which if you do not bring it back down when you get home, because when you work out, you get inflammation. Vitamin C is one of the main things you need to deal with. Magnesium, things like creatine, things like glutamine, just anti-inflammation things. Some people even take pain pills. They understand, bodybuilders understand that when you work out, you cause inflammation. Why am I saying this? If I didn't take vitamin C, I could not go over my strength levels. So as much as I worked out and did this, and I did everything in the book, and I've studied this and that, I could not go over my strength goals. You're talking about a person who used to squat 500 pounds down to the floor and walk away from the squat bar with it and stare in the mirror. When I'm done squatting, I'll go back and put it back on the rack at 178 pounds. So when you can't continue to get stronger, you're lacking something or you're doing something wrong. I'm educating you guys tonight on strength, on exercise, on health, and what you may be going through. So I'm trying to paint it with a broad brush. And some things I'm going into in detail as the Spirit lets me go through. You need vitamin C. It keeps you from being sick after a long, hard workout. Do you know how I got the spike proteins when it was 2020? You know how I got it? We went to a movie theater, okay, and this stuff was all going on, spike proteins being spread around. And I went to the gym and I said, I'm not going to go too hard because my wife is sick right now. And guess what? I love it so much. I'm putting 5 plates on a trap bar, doing traps. Once you go into powerlifting and beyond, you're tapping into the central nervous system. And that's what powerlifting is. I power build. I bodybuild and power build. Once you tap into that, you're going to tap into the central nervous system, which is going to cause high level inflammation. Once you go around anybody sick, the sickness is going to jump on you easy. So if you don't have the essential vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, okay, on top of that, if you drink and got caffeine, oh my goodness, you're dehydrated. Let me tell you, the sicknesses will just jump on you. So a lot of people who you see who's in New York doing pull-ups and all that, they don't really know what they're doing. They just kind of getting on the bar doing pull-ups, and they're like, you do this and do that. No. I love their bodies. I love what they're doing. I've been doing this for a long time, guys. They're just telling you, you do this and you can smoke cigarettes and you can do... No, you can't make this up. You have to kind of know to a certain degree. I don't have to get scientific and technical, but a lot of them are just doing pull-ups. Some of them smoke weed. They stay skinny because they smoke weed, so they're able to be lean. You got some people who do pull-ups and they can still never lose certain fat for their body composition. So it's still going to come back to understanding what you're doing when it comes to diet. Why am I saying all this? You guys just don't know how important it is to take care of your temple. Even when you know how to do it, you could become greedy. You could become excited like I did. And when I went back home because my wife was sick, her sickness jumped on me because I became greedy. If I would have stayed in the area of just building muscle, I could have came home, ate, took down some of the inflammation of the muscle fibers being broke down, and I would have been fine. But I tapped into the powerlifting and the over volume, which tapped into the central nervous system. Right? So guess what? I'm telling you, if you overdo the exercise or become corner with it, it's some negative things to it. If you overdo liquor, if you overdo caffeine, your testosterone for men is going to go down. It produces more estrogen where you start to have itties and bitties up here. And none of us like to have that. If you're a man, if you ever had these joints start to get a little, you're like, hold up, bruh. Your wife going to start to look at you like, you need to borrow the bra, cuz? You need to borrow the bra? You see? Your shirt's got to be bigger and bigger for you to hide them joints. And if you let them go too long, you're going to start to kind of turn yourself into a tranny. You're transforming into something else because your lack of exercise, your idleness, and your laziness is starting to turn you into something else. You will even grow hips. I'm not talking down on you. I'm telling you that you probably have dropped the ball like the next man or woman. And it's time for you to get back up. But we're going to go through some things to help you. So I'm not just going to talk about these things. I'm going to bring you the solution. And I didn't come to... See, this is the thing. The truth is the truth. And it comes with love. It comes with a little whipping belt. And for somebody who's not going to tell you what you want to hear, because we all can get better. We all got things. Listen, I haven't arrived. Everything I do, I got to stay sharp and keep working hard, or I can forget. And even when I do, I forget. We're just people. That the Most High still calls perfect, even in our mistakes. Now let's get back to this article really quick, since we went off for a little bit, but guess what? You're getting wisdom tonight. All right? The heart and cardiovascular health, walking. The surprising connection between your calves and your heart health. Please allow me really quick to turn this fan on. It's getting a little hot. 1 second. There we go. I got that good old air purifier and that fan on. Give me some fresh, crisp air while I'm drinking this beautiful green superfood from keysupplements.com. Oh, yeah. Hope my kids didn't drink it all from me, but you just put that thing up in there and you get to work. We got probiotics in there, and we have amazing green superfood mix in there, right? So, anyway, the surprising connection between your calves and your heart. You might want to pay attention, because you know when I bring it, I'm going to bring it. I didn't come on here to waste my time. I did not come on here to waste yours. You're going to get something out of this tonight. And I'm going to tell y'all something. As we go forth in these times, a lot of y'all, you be asking for the homestead stuff. I'm going to continue to do those shows. But I'm going to tell you other people out there who comes just to watch the lessons. I love what you coming to watch the lessons that we do, and you beat people over the head like Pharisees and all that. But when it comes down to not having oil in your lamp because you don't watch the homestead lessons that me or whatever other leader does, all I'm going to tell you is don't come begging. Don't call the other brothers and sisters who's in your body. Don't go begging them because you didn't learn something to put some oil in your lamp. Because those lessons, people ask for them. And guess what? They don't come to them. But I'm going to continue to do it because just like Noah was building the ark, you have a lot of people. Oh, yeah, we want to learn this. We need to be doing this and doing that. Those are people who's saying it who ain't about it. So every time I'm going on there, guess what? It don't bother me. I'm doing it. Our church is doing it. We're doing it on so many different levels. You have no clue that we just can't announce everything. Huh? And see, this is the thing. We want the kingdom in our mind. But do we really want to put forth the action to do it? Do we really have the faith and the works to do it? So the few people who's out there, it'll be you who's feeding these people who's idle. They will have to come to you for it. Maybe the Most High will even make you the princes and princesses in Israel who's doing this stuff. Because the rest of the people, man, I want to do this, do that. Listen, it's coming out. And guess what? You say you want it, and the Most High is going to teach you a lesson. Maybe you're not going to go to hell, but he's going to show you. You should have been paying attention. You should have been learning. Instead of saying, oh, I got this. I'm not going to need to. I'm going to always have my job. Yeah. Okay. You see what's going on right now with SNAP benefits. You see what's going on that they're only giving out half of them. Not only that, they have also raised the food prices up because they're having to get beef from other countries, and Trump is putting tariffs on some of these other countries. The beef prices are crazy high right now. Let me tell you, it was almost 6 pounds of ground beef. Now I'm about to slaughter one of my cows, whatever the case may be, so I'm good. But sometimes every now and then I may have to go to the store. It was almost 6 pounds of ground beef. $28. 2 of them, that's $60. And I have a big family. So some people, I know that they're going through it. But I pray that those people are not carnal-minded people. Prideful people. Arrogant people for what reason? You can't save yourself. All I'm telling you is when we bring these things out, I hope you listen. Because we don't want to come together and it's like, you ain't been watching the homestead lessons? You ain't been trying to be self-sufficient? You don't know what the hell you doing, huh? You ain't been practicing nothing. You just been worrying about, oh, I don't do Halloween. Oh, you know how sometimes I see these Hebrew channels, side note. Even they come out with the little cartoons and, oh, we don't do Christmas. Oh, we don't do Thanksgiving. Who gives a damn? Do you really think you're going to be able to wake somebody up like that? You are a Pharisee. You are a Pharisee. You do not understand the gospel of Christ. Oh, we don't do this. Oh, yeah, you act like you just arrived, like you've been a Hebrew. This is the mindset of people like this, who are no different than Christians. Oh, I've been saved. You came into truth and become like this. You are so obvious. You have no bait to catch a fish. You're so obvious. Your gospel, let me tell you, what you're doing to Christ's gospel is no good. And I know a lot of people out there are mad of what G.O.C.C did to embarrass the Israelites. To be honest, I'm not mad. I don't like G.O.C.C. I'm not for G.O.C.C, but he did it also to the conscious community. He did it to other things too. But why did he do it to people who can put a dent in the work? He wouldn't do that to us. Because guess what? We don't go out there cursing people out. We don't go out there just disrupting somebody's church and disrespecting them, because that's not the gospel of Christ. And that's what you guys need to get out. I can't believe G.O.C.C did that to Israelites. He didn't do it to Israelites. He did it to Pharisees. It's a difference. And he let it be known, the group that he did it to. And I have nothing against them. But if you go out there to somebody's church and you're disrespectful, as if you just arrived, like you just could just go and interrupt somebody's stuff and nothing happened to you, you're a fool. So get off of this Israelite thing and bring Christ into this thing. See what I'm saying? I can't believe he did that to Israelites. He did it to Pharisees. Is a difference, and some of you will never understand it, and you still don't get it. Was he right for what he was doing? Of course not. What he's mocking, he's going to have to deal with the Most High for whatever he's dealing with. But he might come across a church, hey, like ours, and say, you know what? I see how these guys are moving. It's a little different. It's a little different. You know, he did the conscious community. You know, the New York joint where everybody think they deep. Everything deeper than what it got to be. Astronomical, diabolical, numerological. No, we ain't doing all that. So he definitely had to do that conscious community. They be deep for no reason, and they be in waters that's only up to their ankles. Don't you know the sea is deeper than that? Let's continue, man. I just have to bring that sometime. You understand? Just because I need the people to understand what time we're in. It's serious. People are being tested right now. And the Most High is allowing it. He is allowing it because he wants one last chance to save his people before he has to bring the sword to them. And I pray for my brothers and sisters that's out there in Sudan and Africa and all this. But this is another thing I'm going to tell you before we go forth. It's going to come a time to where every few years you see people so-called coming against Christianity where you got to prepare yourself. Christ said, listen, he didn't say to take vengeance on people, but you definitely had to protect yourself. Sell your cloak and get a sword. If I know every few years these cats is going to come and try to take down Christians where they tying us up and they making you kiss as if, you know, you want some LGBT stuff. It's like, come on, man. Y'all Christians, this is not the gospel that Christ taught. And I feel very bad for my brothers and sisters over there who don't know that. But even the Maccabees learned it. They're like, hold up. If we lay down and just get killed on the Sabbath, we're not going to have no more Israelites. We're not going to have no more Israelites. So when it comes to a purpose, you got to understand when it comes to a point of time. We can't take vengeance. But if we need to protect our goods, get from point A to point B and survive, it is what it is. But of course you can't fight against AI. Of course you can't fight against Esau. But I'm not just going to let somebody come in and like put a cross up like they're a vampire and expect to get saved. I watched these brothers out there in Egypt get smacked up and all this type of stuff. And I'm like, they are really letting these people do this. It's something about the Americans. We ain't playing that. We ain't playing that. We seen what our forefathers went through. We've been through too much for you to just come and play us like that. When these Gentiles come over here, they be quiet. When you go to their third world countries, they disrespect you. And not all of them. You're going to always have a percentage of good ones, just like when we left Egypt. But a lot of them play quiet over here. When you go over there, they show you how they really feel about you. It's only those in Christ. And I'm trying to help you tonight to make sure your mind state is healthy, your body is healthy to be able to make it through. Okay? Listen, you got your rock out there in the woods. He ain't got to the point where he putting deer piss on him yet, but guess what? He out there with them, hey, checking these deers out. And yeah, I'm joking, but guess what, my boy? It's people out there that's preparing. Some people are afraid to pick up a damn worm. Afraid to put their hands in the dirt. When the virtuous woman scripture, says she get down there in that garden. There's some red wigglers in that garden. I don't like bugs. How you a virtuous woman? And you that Proverbs woman? All right, let me get back on the lesson. You know, sometimes the spirit go carry it somewhere else. The surprising connection between your calves and your heart health, referred to as your second heart. Your calves play a vital role in your cardiovascular health. Here's how. Your heart is the fist-sized muscular center of your cardiovascular system. Some 100,000 times a day. It pumps about 10 pints of oxygenated blood from your lungs out through 60,000 miles of veins and capillaries to your furthest extremities. So what does that mean? You need to be getting off of your behind, jumping. Jumping is really good. You shake your gut like a bottle of sludge or oils that's stuck. Imagine coconut oil. You know how coconut oil, virgin coconut oil, when it gets cold, is stuck? You shake that bottle up. That's like your gut. Shake it up. You got to jump. Don't do everything too much the first week. You got to transition. If you got to hold on to something because you ain't jumped in years, you you start doing that little football move, little by little. Get the body used to compensating the weight on those legs. Before you know it, you're going to be, you see what I'm saying? Take it little by little. Because you don't want to be coming back telling Elder, I need some ointment because I'm hurting. You got to take it little by little. And don't try to, I'm going to tell you, you older people, don't try to tell people this lie. Oh, I'm too old. We too old to be. No, that's a total lie. Because I can show you some people today that's a lie. That's for you. You keep that lie to yourself. My children is getting older and I'm getting younger. The closer you get to death, you get younger. If you wise. Because guess what? When you don't have this body, ain't no number on your age. So that's how we think. All right? I don't want to hear no I'm getting old. There's a thing of getting mature in this body and wiser. But guess what? My life is forever. As long as I'm following the Most High. So I'm not even thinking about these things in my mind. Because Jacob was going to war at an old age, slinging bow and arrows. Caleb, that's why I named my son Caleb. Caleb is 8 years old. He could bust out 50 push-ups if not 100. Period. And a man can't bust out 10, that's a shame. You need to get back on your game. You can't bust out 10 full push-ups. It's time for you to get back on your game. Wake up and rise up, Lion of Judah. Let's continue. But your heart gets help from an unexpected source. According to the latest thinking from cardiovascular experts, you have a second heart that plays a crucial role in your body's circulatory system, your calf muscles. Women, stop letting these doctors tell you you're going to have breast cancer. My mom went to the hospital before when she was young. They told her, oh, you got cat hair in your blood. She went to another doctor. They say ain't nothing in your blood. They lying. Oh, went to another one. Oh, you got a lump right here. Went to another doctor. They lying. You had so many women who went to the doctor and they told them they had something. They never went back and they still living. If they would have listened to the doctors, they'd have been gone. I'm just telling you the truth. The Most High is so smart. He gives you a fever, heats up the body to kill off the bacteria. Yes, you shouldn't let the fever go too high, but there's nothing going to be just one size fits all. Yes, there's special cases, but a tumor is going to encapsulate itself with worms, bad bacteria, while the rest of the body is functioning. Certain foods that you eat to take away inflammation and certain things are going to go to this area, and little by little, you'll eventually have something coming out of your body. But if you go to the death camp sometimes, and they put something in your mind, knowing that if you cut something and worms scatter like they do, if you see a clump of worms, they scatter in the dirt, in the compost pile. The same thing is going to happen in the body. The Most High is very smart. Keep them over here. Put a little, glass wall around them. It ain't a glass, but you know what I mean. Right? And guess what? If you're eating the right things and fasting or doing what you need to do, exercising, guess what? Eventually, they won't be able to live around too long. Okay? Let's go. So I don't want to stay too long on this one. You can get this link here, my main thing for this is to just go ahead and read it for yourself. Start jumping. Not just doing calf raises. That's good too. But start doing a little jumpy to jump. Jump. Jump like a frog. Okay? Put you some little music on and jump. You don't even have to count. Just jump a little bit every day. Jumping jacks. Jumping in place. Keep yourself light on your legs. Let's go to our next article or link. I think this lady, she's a little funny. All right. Fair use educational purposes only. Don't judge this lady. I'm not here for you to judge her. I'm not here for you to be some over-righteous Pharisee, as if you're not watching series shows and you don't see people in some exercise clothing. Of course, we didn't do this in Israel. But this is going to help. This person who's doing this is going to help change your life. All right. So if you want to watch her channel, she has some great stuff on there. All right. Fair use educational purposes only.
The longer your legs, the longer you live. Why? Your leg muscles, your glute muscles are the major muscles in your body. Muscles are #1 ally in the fight against insulin resistance. Your leg bones are...
Muscles are the #1 fight against insulin resistance. A lot of you guys, you try diets, your hormones get thrown all over the place. You do this, your hormones get thrown all over the place. You're on medication, your hormones get thrown all over the place. You can't afford not to exercise. You start to get obese, your hormones can get thrown all over the place. You really have to know your body. It can run in your family. Obesity can also run in the family. It's like things that we have, whether it's sicknesses or whatever that are with us, they can travel through the next child. It's not the child's fault. Now the child has to learn how to overcome what may be in his genetics. Okay, I'm big bone. Big bone usually means a person can grow muscle very easy. Meaning they're going to have nice glutes and legs and big calves are easy. People who have smaller joints, their calves are usually smaller ankles. Can't hold as much thick type of muscle. Don't mean they can't get the same size eventually. But it's a difference. It's a big difference. Sometimes a person have not even been in the gym and they're big boned and they can just curl something very easy, where a person with small joints, they have to work a little harder. Don't take nothing away, but I'm just saying it's just different genetics. Then you got a person with small joints, with big joints, and then they mix together. Sometimes the child is going to take whichever one from the family. We just have to learn our body type. Usually big boned people who hold a lot of muscle, their metabolism is a lot slower. It's very easy for them to grow muscle. Muscle grows easy not only from protein, but also just energy, fats, calories. It's not only about protein when it comes to muscle. It's just that when you want to see your muscle, protein make you lean, carbs and sugars will make you large, or too much fats. Now you got good fats that will burn fat. Okay, but if you overdo anything, carbs and sugars will make you large, protein will make you lean. But you can grow muscle just from calories alone. So people with big bone, very easy to grow muscle, very easy fast gainers. People with small joints usually have high metabolism, gain abs very easy even when they're coming out of the womb. Okay, it's hard for them to gain weight until they get over their 30s and stuff like that a lot of times, or unless they have a baby. Okay, but even usually after they have a baby, they're finally at that right shape. And sometimes the people who are big bone have a baby, they really got to eat a little bit more cleaner. You just got to know your body type. You can't do the same thing as a big boned, slow metabolism person as a small jointed, high metabolism person. You can't do that. Okay, and guess what? If you're small jointed, a lot of times your calves will not be as big as a big jointed person. A lot of times it's just how it goes. You can work them, you can go heavy as you want to. They can look nice, they can look amazing, but they will never look big as this person. That is a myth. You have certain genetic bounds. And I don't mean that your arms can't grow 20 inches. That's not what I'm saying, but there's certain genetic bounds to a certain degree, certain shapes. Everybody got their own shape. Everybody has certain anatomies. That's why I can't stand when people on the East Coast be like, no, you got to lock out. Everybody can't lock out, brother. Stop being too deep with everything you do. You didn't create the world. Stop trying to be deep with everything. We got boys who's doing half reps, who's way swollen, way stronger, can do calisthenics and bodybuilding at the same time. So stop all that stuff. You gotta lock out, and by the time you locked out, your joints locked out, and you can't bend your arm again. That's foolishness. Professional bodybuilders do not lock out so that they can have longevity. Don't you know that? When they're hitting the chest, they come about right here. They don't lock out and snap the joints. That's a fool. Guys, you talk about common sense. If you keep raising your shoulder and try to rip your arm off like the toy soldiers, that's dumb. Okay, you guys, what I'm teaching you tonight is longevity. Let me tell you, I did the lockout thing, and guess what? Joint pain. I did 1,000 pull-ups a day. You can, and guess what? With or without locking out, you can have joint pain. So definitely locking out. You out of there. You don't see what happened to Ronnie Coleman? And a lot of times he didn't lock out, but then when he went too heavy, he had issues. So what I'm saying is, guys, you have to use wisdom. Let's continue back with my sister.
The main reservoirs for minerals that support brain function. That's why you need to work on the strength of your legs and glutes on everyday basis, and it's easy. I will show very easy motion. You put your leg straight. You put the opposite one in internal rotation.
Solution.
And you start moving your pelvis. 1, 2, 3, 10, 15 times, and then switch the side. Turn.
Some of you may not be able to do 15 reps. Okay, start with 5. Move up every week. Move up every week. You don't have to do what she's doing if you don't want to. Find your own way, but you need to work your hip flexors. You need to work your hip joints. And when I say joints, not the joint itself, but you need to work the muscle around them. Because if you can't bend all the way down like the people in the third world country, you need to start holding on to something where you can do that. Because guess what? How we had to use the bathroom when we was in the wilderness. We had to drop it like it was hot. In a righteous way. You had to be able to sit all the way down very low like all of the ancient ones do. And that's a very healthy position for the lower back. It takes weight off of the spine and all that. It helps your knees. It helps your hips. It helps your overall alignment for your body. I'm telling you some facts here. Okay, you're talking about to a person who had 2 partial ACL tears, where I could not walk sometimes at all. Actually, I could not walk sometime and finish when it came to the physical academy. Now, I went back to, after I started taking MSM, squatting 500 pounds, dunking again, doing all type of stuff. And I'm still able to do certain things. Okay? So I've overcame a lot of injuries, and a lot of times we lack certain type of functionality, mobility, and our alignment may be off.
Turn your pelvic and move it with the help of your arm. Want to learn more about how to eat and move without starvation and build up your best physique? Join my online workshop, Eat and Get Slim.
All right, so you guys have many channels you can watch when it comes to this stuff. Sisters, brothers, I mean, you can find all of that. I'm just giving certain things general for an example, okay? All right. Let's go to our next link really quick. Then I'll open up the lines in a few. I want to motivate you with this Edomite here because we're not racist. We just don't like people who don't like us and who don't like Christ. We pray for them, though. All right. We know there's a lot of good Edomites out there. A lot of them are our friends, but a lot of them are not. So we don't care. And a lot of our own people are not our friends because they're demons too. So if you're in Christ, we're trying to pick people who's not carnal and who want to be in the kingdom of heaven. No matter if you could be East Indian, Arab. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes you're going to hear us come on here speaking the truth about the sins and the evil of certain cultures and certain nations because it's just the truth. But does that mean that we hate people? No, it's just the truth. We have to tell the truth about our people every day. You think we're not going to speak about the other nations who's keeping our people downtrodden? Oh, of course not. So if you're real, and you're in these other nations, you can come and get baptized. We're going to baptize you and we're going to love you just like a brother. And guess what I'm going to tell you too, though? I'm going to keep it real with you. Those customs that you have over there, just like it tells us in the scriptures, you got to put away your idols. You know what I mean? You got to put away things that's strangled with blood and all that. And you got to put away the must. That is a must, that you put away the must. We're going to be clean over here. We're going to put some deodorant on. It could be a natural deodorant, but we're going to make sure that all of those customs, those are idolatrous customs. We're not stinking around here, okay? We have to take baths. We're going to do all of that. All right? So we're just putting that out there. We have to keep our temple clean, inside and outside. We're eating good diets. We're keeping healthy attitudes, positive attitudes. So I'm just telling you the truth. Because nobody's going to tell me I've been knowing I'm a Hebrew. And it's like, okay, so since you've been knowing, that means you telling me I need to do everything that you've been doing? I think not. It's something about the people over here. I'm not saying we're better than nobody. But I don't know why our customs and our ways, even in captivity, seem to be just a little better than where we came from. I'm not throwing no dung on my head and tearing my shirt when I get angry no more. The Most High said we done with all of those crazy little common things like that. We good. Right? We know we the kings. We know we the kings. Ain't nobody popping out no possum and throwing it on the pit. We ain't rolling like that. All right? Check out my sister here who was dedicated and had discipline. So I don't care if you a plus size model today, what they call you. If you don't want to be plus size no more, guess what? And you want to minus it down a little bit, just take your time and get on your pace. And we praying for you. See, we're not here to talk about obese people. We just here to tell the truth. But guess what? If you want to be healthy, according to the weight you want to be, just take your time. We're going to go through some things in this book that may help you if you got some hormone issues that's still blocking you as well. Sometimes your iodine levels are down. Sometimes you're having hormone issues from medication. Now, we can't speak about things you deal with your doctor. That's something you got to deal with at home. But, hey, we got some simple things that can still help you to bust through this fat, all right? Check it out. 6 months of home workouts. Where there's a will, there's a way. Come on, my white sister. Come on. Uh-oh. Whoa, look at her now. Look at her now. She said, don't try to play with me. I got faith and works. Because it works. I have faith and works because it works. The principles of discipline, guys, and being fruitful and multiply, they all come from Christ. Huh? Listen. She giving them a run for their money now because, listen, you know what's more beautiful than anything, just the corner, the mindset. The mindset is even more beautiful that she did this. 6 months of consistency. Fair use. Uh-oh. She looking like a normal Italian now. There she go. Look, she said if I can do it, you can do it. You can't hate on hard work. Who can hate on that? You can't hate on hard work. I'm telling you, you can do this. You just have to set it in your mind. Christ was trying to tell us. Right? Be it to you unto what your faith is. It's going to turn out of how your faith is. But faith is always included with works. They're inseparable, baby. When you hear faith, works is right with it. When you hear works, faith should be included with it. Because if it's not, you're a Pharisee. She did that. Now, see, now this is the thing. I'm going to give y'all a secret I don't have to give you. Some of you don't have that much muscle down there. Some of you wasn't blessed with the dump truck, so you're going to have to put in a little bit more glute exercises at least 2-3 times a week. And then you can make your husband or your significant other a little bit more happy. Or if you say, hey, I don't want nothing down there, you keep that to yourself. That part is on you. But I'm just telling you, just in case you don't know. If you just slim down, everybody may have genetically big arms, genetically big shoulders, but they may not be genetically gifted in every area. So what you have to do is start putting more volume. When I mean by putting more volume, more reps or more sets in that one area. What's going to happen is the more you work that area, when you eat your food, once that muscle is broken down to inflammation, the food and the nutrition and the protein and the amino acids go to this area to heal and rebuild that muscle. Before you know it, through the same consistency she had to lose the weight, she is now gaining muscle in other areas to make her body look more aesthetically pleasing. But even before that, this sister looks good. So I didn't have to give you that secret. Because some people, once they get down, they be like, I need a BBL. No, don't do that. Don't get the BBL because it smells. Put you some work in for certain. And then you're going to look good when you open up the curtains. Okay? I just gave you some game. All right, who we got here? We have a 90-year-old here, once again. We have a 90-year-old fair use. All right, let's see if I can get this pretty good here.
You want to do, you can do it. Because the more you come here, the more muscles you get, the more strength you get.
The more you come here, what does that mean? Diligence. Dedication. Mindset is faith. Christ been telling us this. If you were listening to the academy, I showed you how when your gut is in order, your hormones are functioning on point. Your emotions is not all over the place, making you double-minded and unstable in all your ways. You need to build your foundation. Build your foundation up and start today. When I'm done with this lesson, guys, I'm going to do my second workout for the day. My second workout is not for muscle. My second workout have always been for mind. It have always been to stay comfortable being uncomfortable. Where I want to be kicked up watching my feet. I do it because I don't want to preach and I'm telling people something. And guess what? I'm on that. What I'm saying is I'm on that ride with you too. You might think you're working out alone. Guess what? I'm working out with you in my own house. Even though I don't have to. Even though I already look good. Some workouts I do is for my mind. Because I know they're not easy. Yeah, I work out in the garden. I don't consider that working out. I don't consider what I'm doing next is working out. When I'm done working, for example, me and my wife was in there. We worked on my chest. I can work my whole chest in 5 minutes. I can work one muscle in 5 minutes with a giant set. After that, I'm not working muscle anymore. I'm not in it to be a bodybuilder. I can already win a first place contest. Trust me. If you think I'm lying, you would have to travel with me. The Russian coach came to me, and he was one of the number one, what do you call those people, who read the number one judges who was over this thing. He told me, if you come to Russia and you get in the show, you will be number one. He said, there's a man from this gym who went there and he was number two. He said, but you're not even on steroids. He said, you will be number one. That guy was on steroids. He said, you will be number one. I was telling him, I'm like, I'm not really here for that. I'm just working out, trying to stay healthy. Me and you're rocking there, throwing weights around. And I ended up getting a workout with the brother. But I'm telling you, sometimes I work out just for the mindset and discipline. So some of you think it's about muscle and he think he all that. You need to, before you go to a woman or a man and say they think they're all that, check yourself before you wreck yourself, because you may be making the biggest assumption in the world. I stay strong and healthy for longevity. I stay strong and healthy for my family. I stay strong and healthy to be able to have my limbs, my mindset, to protect people whom I love. Huh? And if the Most High needed to turn my body into something as a man of war like he did in the past, I'm at least showing discipline for that. Not sitting fat on the couch, eating potatoes, drinking all day, and expect to get some type of powers to go to some type of war just because I'm following the law. Nah, bruh. You don't know the Bible. You have to have a certain level of discipline. He even sometimes in the Bible called out, he said, I want certain bodies. This is a scripture. He said, I wanted certain bodies basically that were above average. Talking about certain men who were disciplined on a different level. That's in the scriptures in the Old Testament. I'm for sure about that. All right. So some people think that this thing is just about, man, you want everybody to be like them. No. Nobody got to be like anybody. But you have somebody who loves you enough to tell you that you can be better. If I have sheep, don't I want my sheep to be fruitful? If my sheep don't want to be fruitful, what do you do with those sheep? You slaughter those sheep, like Christ would say. If that fig tree don't want to be fruitful, what do you do? What's the purpose of the fig tree? Cut it down and put it in a fire. I'm tired of it just showing green leaves. The green leaves are nice. But if it don't have fruit, it's just looking pretty for no reason. So I'm going to give you something for example. New people coming to church. You want to praise or higher. You can call in the show for the questions. LT144K. I'm opening this call up. If you stay on long enough, you can call in for the questions. New people coming to the church, for example. We've been doing this work for so long. Do you think we did it for free? We had to put our all in. So why would others not have to put their all in? You got leaders running the church and they just spewing out fumes. Because the sheep don't want to produce fruit. They just coming in there, they want to read the Bible, go out and tell other people what they doing wrong. Let me tell you the first thing you're doing wrong. You coming in there to be cocky and to be carnal, and guess what else you're not doing? You don't even pay your tithes. How can you grow a church without finances? Oh, here they go. They talk about tithes again. That's the law. Aren't you a law keeper? So now you're a hypocrite. You're going out preaching people for not following the law, but that's the one law you say you shouldn't follow. Well, tithes is meant in the least. Where's your farm? Where's your garden? Even though it's not that. Just give you an example. We must be fruitful spiritually, mentally, and physically. Huh? Or complain about what Trump is not doing for us when we can build our own kingdom as we are. We take note of everything, by the way. We take note of everything. Attendance. People who misuse the doctrine. People who come in and do all type of stuff. Yeah, as leaders, we have to take reports and report them to headquarters. Yes, we do. So if somebody wants to go rogue or go crazy, when they want to come among us, we have to vote as leaders and say, hold up, if this person come among us, this is what they're known for. They're known for being lazy, just coming to the Sabbaths, or they don't come to the Sabbath. They only come to the feast days. They just say shalom. They never try to put in work. They walk around with an attitude all day as if they're God's gift to whatever. Huh? You are called to be fruitful, people. You are called to be fruitful. If you don't like it, go start your own church. Go do something else. Who cares? We're at the end of the world. We're not worried about it. So if you mad because we ain't mad, I don't know what else to tell you. Right? Let's show you what one of the elders say right here. The elderly queens.
Your arms and more your brain works. And I'll tell you something else. Don't wear old people's clothes. I don't wear my age clothes. Never did. And I always say, Lord.
Now check it out. Some sisters will take that too far. Well, she say don't wear your age clothes. She didn't say jump into a hoochie dress. If you're showing cleavage, you're showing too much. If you're showing cheeks or too much legs, you're showing too much. You don't work out to come and show your body like a harlot and expect to get a king. You don't get a king. You don't deserve a king. You deserve a whoremonger. A wicked woman is given to the portion of a wicked man. You can't break the scriptures. You want to show cleavage and behind. You don't deserve a king and you're not a queen. I'm sorry. Do you have the potential? Anybody has the potential once they decide to be who they want to be today. You got some of these young girls who want to come in with an attitude because older sisters might tell them, put your cleavage up. Or your dress is too tight and you coming in there. What do you expect for somebody to let you just walk into the kingdom? However, that's no different than somebody letting LGBT walk into the Christian church. This is not what this is. Let me tell you, if you work out and in shape and you dress modest, it can be it can be shown, regardless. You don't have to show that much carnality. Trust me. You're gonna see it in your face. Your face gonna be tight. Everything. And that doesn't mean that people who haven't reached this point are not beautiful, spirited people. That's not what I'm saying. Everybody has their time. I get it, but I can't stop the lesson or teach some type of beating around the bush because of that. I know. Listen. When you come around me because you hear me speaking this, don't be afraid to come to me. I don't care how old you are, what color you are, how big, small you are. I still love you. But don't expect for me to not better people. And I'm not looking at you like, oh, here he come, she come. That's not me. But the gospel must come out. The truth must come out. All right?
Yes, you and I have a wonderful time today. I do. Don't look at your age. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Because the more you come here, the more muscles you get, the more strength you get in your arms, and more your brain works. And
look at that. More your brain works. Wherever you are out there, my sister, I pray you still living. I'm proud of you. Listen. Wow. A 90-year-old. Inspiring. Very inspiring. Never too late to start, my people. Some of you can start watching channels like this to keep you functional. Some of you like, Elder, I got back pain, I got knee pain. Some of you have a little too much weight. It's not being distributed right. When you have muscle that's lean, it's distributed more smoothly. Okay? It's distributed more smoothly. And if you have injuries or whatever the case may be, old injuries, there's functional mobility type of exercises that you can do. I do some of these things. It'll pop your back. It'll put things back into place. All that. It's only so much alignment that you can do outside of actually getting yourself in shape, guys. There's not going to be a chiropractor in every moment. There's not going to be something in every moment. You're not going to have your juicer. You're not going to have these things, at your disposal at at your leisure at any time you just want them. Your whole time you've been juicing to keep yourself in shape. There's no juicer now. What are you going to do now? There's no convenience in every moment. What are you going to do now? Out of everything you can do, the number one thing is keep yourself in shape. Guys, let me tell you something. I used to eat trash and stay in shape. Well, you might have looked good on the inside, outside, but you ain't look good. Let me tell you something. That's not true. The way the body works, if there's certain diets, intermittent fasting, there's certain 1 meal a day. There's so many different things that you can do that you don't know how the Most High made this body, and it will turn something bad into good to a certain degree. To a certain degree. It's guys in prison. They have the worst food ever and look better than most people in society. Eating Snicker bars, eating honey buns, eating all trash. I'm telling you, and they burn it. They heat their blood up, which burns through the toxins, and they excrete out the toxins, and they stay healthy and amazing. Now every now and then they may have some high blood pressure issues but the diabetic thing don't usually come because they're just burning the fat, right? There's so many different ways to get this body in shape. We'll talk about some of those in the near future, and I'll show you some of those things, okay? Fair use, educational purposes only. Let me see if I can get the volume. I guess he is not going to... They don't give me the volume on Facebook, but just check some of these movements out. for the knees, sciatica pain, different things like that. Go to YouTube and type in functional mobility hip training for lower back, for hips. Just go there and type in things like this and you'll see beginner things to do. You don't have to buy programs. They got free stuff on YouTube that you can just have. I'm going to tell you again, take it easy. Do not start the first week too hard. You will be too sore. You might want to quit. You might want to give up. You might be that person that said, I did this for 3 weeks and then you never do it again. Some of you like to swim. Be very careful. I'm not trying to be a boogeyman to scare you, but swimming is a good exercise, but we're going to show something about it. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Keep me from some of this grunting and talking. When you talk too long, some things happen. When you're talking for hours, let me tell you, those of us who teach, we know you might get stomach gas, you might get acid reflux, you start sniffling. It's all type of stuff that happens when you just talking. So this is not an easy job, trust me. So you got to have different type of drinks. I'm gonna finish this green juice though. All right, there. Let me show this other one just for some knees, just so you guys can see. For those of you who may have knee problems, you don't have to do this specific movement, but there's squats that you can hold the weight or even without weight. Put your heels on a dumbbell or wood, a piece of or little platform, and squat with your calves up. They lied to us and told us knees over the toes was bad. It's always been a lie. It's not true. It's not true. As you get older, if you don't do some of those things, you'll be like me, messing up your Achilles. You have to still do functional movements.
Your knee pain, even if they're wrecked right now. I learned these
Fair use, educational purposes only.
from George Hackenschmidt, who used them to be able to run late into his 80s without any pain. And here's how he did them. Weight stays
Late into his 80s.
behind your back. Then lift your heels off the ground as you lower, going into full knee bend and extending back up with an upright chest. With this strict form, we're forcing our knees and our foot arch to fire at the same time, which is the same ability that's required when we run. In rebuild, we're doing 3
Black people, stop saying you're getting old. You're casting a spell on yourself. You're casting a curse on yourself. Do we get old? Of course. But you don't have to get old the way they say you do, to where you're laying in their deathbed. You don't have to do that. Some of our grandfathers and stuff, we seen them back in shape even when they were older. And when they stop moving is when they start hurting, where they needed ointment and all this stuff. You know the old people who couldn't say rinse the water, they say rinse the dishes. Go and rinse instead of rinse. Man, these were some strong, wise people. When they stopped moving, laying in the bed, laying up eating potato chips and pork and all this different stuff, that's when it started to happen. The disease that they were eating before, it didn't mess them up because they were moving. When they stopped moving, the disease sat. Their gut didn't work anymore. They were not able to release these things. So now you start to hear, when a man gets his age, he gets prostate. No, he does not have to get prostate. And if you're afraid, go to KIISupplements.com. I got every herb you need to make sure that you can get on it and prevent it before it comes. And you know, if you did, listen, we got prostate formula. You can take it even if you don't have it. I keep it and I deal with it every now and then. But I'm not worrying about that. I'm staying in shape. I'm eating healthy oils. I'm not eating seed oils. I'm eating that good old homestead food. And guess what? Soon as my time frees up, I'm going to be slaughtering my own goats. I'm going to be slaughtering my own things. Some of you already do this. This is the best way to do it. Now, sometimes as an elder, we're very busy. So we have moments where we can do things and we have moments where we can't. We can't be full on everything because our main job is for Christ and to teach these people. All right? That's the main job. All right? But it's time for us to get out here and start doing these things, because one day if we ever have to come together as little communities, what do you know how to do? Well, Elder, I wasn't watching the homestead lesson because go sit your behind on the sideline somewhere. Or as a matter of fact, go pick some weeds. Go pick some weeds. You can go pick weeds because homesteaders know we don't like picking no damn weeds. You go pick some weeds since you didn't want to watch the lessons. You can go do all the work nobody else want to do. Even though we got people who do it with pride and love us. Matter of fact, we going to let them come over here. You go do that work. You think just because you're an Israelite, you special. Get out of here. You think because you got long, nice hair, you special. Because you bright-skinned and light-skinned, you special. Ha! Who cares? Let me tell you, ain't nothing deep about you. It's an Israelite made beautiful, handsome, tall, every day. Be fruitful or get out the way. Don't come to church just to take a chair and listen to the lesson if you ain't trying to have no faith in works. You need to support the church just like you supported the Christian church, and don't come there sitting and then when something go wrong in your life, you got a handout, but you ain't. What tithes you putting in? When are you at church? But you going out preaching to everybody you're an Israelite and we don't ever see you. Know who you labor among, people. And we don't care who got an attitude about it. The snake's heads always get cut off. You didn't see what happened in the wilderness when Korah tried to go against Moses? It's so sad that these people still never seem to get that. They never get away. Look, Tabitha say, bright skinned and hungry. Yeah, you're going to be bright skinned and hungry. And that them oils in your hair, we might not even have no oil, but you want some of this tallow in your hair though, huh? Gonna pick some of them weeds, we might give you a little tallow. You might have to turn them into dread soon. I don't like the homestead lessons because I don't like worms. Oh, that just ain't my thing. Okay, we don't care. Well, guess what? Just like with the little red hen, when you baking that bread, you don't need none of this bread then. Huh? Talking about thou shalt love thy neighbor as I love thyself. Well, you wasn't doing it.
Sets of 10 reps in 3 minutes every Thursday, which is our baseline for running ready knee strength. And if these hack squats look impossible.
And let me tell you something. My sister Tabitha from Humble Service Homestead, she's a beast. She get out there, and let me tell you, she ain't a small woman. Why she be getting out there picking this stuff, her and her husband? I'm going to tell you right now, they gets out there and they put the work in for certain. So it's no excuses. It's no, let me tell you, you got a small woman talking about I'm tired. What? What? The homestead work is not easy. It's not. You can't find enough workers, like Christ said. The harvest is plenty, but the laborers is few. You can't find enough workers. I go get my raw milk, right, from this farm. And he says he can't find enough workers. He can't find enough workers to help him. This homestead stuff, like, listen, when it comes down to where it's like, when people don't realize where this thing is going, that this is reality, this is going to be the new norm. Everybody talking about the digital ID and all that. Some people, the people who said they wasn't going to take it, unfortunately, they may be the people. I pray they don't take it, man.
Right now, remember that we earn this ability by spending the first 8 weeks in unlock, by rebuilding our full range knee bend with our VMO squats, and by unlocking the muscles at the bottom of your foot with our foot stretch. This is how we keep our runners strong and able to run pain-free for life.
What did he say? For life. All right? And I don't get me wrong, I would love to have the garden. Me and my wife always talk about it, the garden where the garden beds are up here. Well, all you got to do is just reach like that. But I'm going to tell you something, the beautiful part about sometimes having a garden where it's low. You got to bend down. It keeps you in shape. The Lord knows I would love to just go straight to a certain degree and just pick my vegetables. Right? But it's a benefit to it. It's a benefit to it, guys. All right, so I just really quick, we about to open the lines. I want to show y'all who like to swim. Personally, when it comes to swimming, I like to do research on the pool now because I had to learn something from this video. that I thought I can't swim in everybody's pool, especially the pools that are so busy, especially after 2020. All right. Even though you didn't take it, I just don't want no spike proteins, no germs. I see how the Hamite East Indians roll over there. They have made themselves very famous on social media. The East Indians have the people of Nimrod have made themselves very famous on social media. I think even Esau is like, hold up. It's certain things we do. We eat a little pork. We drink, the elite of us drink a little blood. And just, whatever they do. Esau do their own little things. But I think they even look at the East Indians like, listen, y'all are like, you have topped every filthy secret, every filthy, unlawful thing that there could ever be. And really it comes down to satanic worship that they do. You had a guy who's he was anointing his house. This is their custom, one of the customs. He was anointing his house with cow dung and cow urine. And he was telling her, like, listen, I gotta do this. This dude is anointing the crib with this. And then you got a sister, I was out there in Africa, and I'm not making fun. Some of our people have taken on the Hamite cultures. She's putting cow dung all over the floor and said to keep mosquitoes away. I don't give a damn how many mosquitoes it take away. We got to make another way. It must be the Levite coming out of me, because I got Levite in my family. A lot of Levite on my mom's side. It must be the Levite coming in me, say we ain't building nothing over there with them. I ain't putting no cow dung all over here and there. We gonna make another way. Or take another way. I'm sorry. We ain't doing it. So, the East Indians have made themselves famous. All I know, when I see they little things, I think of meow, 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 meow. That's what I think of every time I see a little video coming out. You got this dude named Super Ray. He got so infatuated with watching East Indian culture. Now, I've seen somewhere they cook a little fish and cook a little rice out there, but most of the videos that they showing today is like, they got the cows and they taking a shower. It's like, man, listen, guys, if you over there and you want to get in Christ and this truth, hit us up. We're going to save you from all that. We're going to dump you in the water, clean you physically and spiritually. I'm telling you, you ain't going to have to worry about doing all that no more. Tell the homies over there, we got you. Tell them you coming to the Gathering Christ Church. And listen, we going to make sure you good. Matter of fact, we will donate the clothes. Throw them old ones away. Take them off. We going to get you something to go in the water, and we going to put you some new ones on when you come out. We got you. And we're going to have somebody with an eraser to erase that red dot off of you. We got you. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. All right? Let's get a pool expert right here. Ain't no way somebody gonna talk down on my people and try to call us dirty. Are you crazy? You know how much I have seen people walking around with their shoes off and like sewage water when I was over there? I'm like, they just chilling like it's another day. I'm like, they threw a horse in the trash. They threw the horse on the trash pile. Like, it's not one, not two. This is just normal. When a horse dies, yo, just throw him on the trash. The trash man come pick him up. Oh, boy. Fair use, Father have mercy. So for some of you who may like to swim and stay in shape, just pick a private pool. Rent a pool for $100 an hour, $50, $30, whatever. Make sure it's not too many people swimming in there. And understand the schedule of the cleaning. Because, and personally, I'd rather have a pool that's got salt in it. But if you have to swim in chlorine, at least make sure that it's cleaned up real nice. Let me get the volume. Sometimes these things don't come automatically with volume.
On why I'll never get in a community pool or spa. Do not watch this any further if you have a weak stomach. This is going to gross you out to the max. I take care of a lot of HOA, apartment pools, commercial pools, big swimming areas with a lot of people. And I'm telling you right now, if you knew what was in the water, you would never even dip your toe in it again. So let's start with this. Chlorine, it doesn't really just magically make the water clean. When you've got about 100 people a day in just one body of water, everything off of their body, it ends up in there too. Sunscreen, lotion, sweat, deodorant, makeup, hair products, grease, pee, you name it, it's in there. Now, when all of that builds up, that foam on top of the spa, that's not just like bubbles that are created because the water's churning really fast. That's actually chemical soup of body oils, pee, detergent, and just filth. And for mucus discharge. Yeah, so chlorine actually opens up your pores and your sinuses, which means every person in there is literally leaking from their nose, their mouth, and the pores on their body. So that like water, whether it be in the spa or the pool, it's full of boogers, snot, phlegm, mouth spit. If you're sitting in a spa or in a pool and you open your mouth even once, you're basically tasting that mixture. And I know people don't like to think about it, but that's the 100% truth on this. That's what you see. The stuff that is way worse is what you don't see. There's a parasite actually called Cryptosporidium, and it survives chlorine. Chlorine can't kill it. And if someone goes in that spa and someone else swallows even a tiny bit of water that has had Cryptosporidium in it, you're literally looking at days and weeks of violent diarrhea, vomiting, and dehydration. Like, it will hospitalize you for quite a while. So now, when it's your own family pool, a backyard pool, a handful of people, that's one thing. But when it's 50, 100, 200, 300 people a week,
your gym pools, y'all be careful out there. Now, I have some things on the homestead site that can deal with that thing there, but I'd rather you just don't get it in you. Just telling you.
On a daily basis, that water is a soup of everything that came off everyone's body. Now, I'll clean it, I'll shock it, but I'm not swimming in it. Ugh. And now you know why. I'll never ever get in a public spa or pool. So someone asked.
All right, so hey, be careful. Be very careful. Be very careful, all right? Hold up, I needed to do something really quick. 1 second. I guess I have to do that. All right, I have to do that next time. 1 second. I know I had another video here. Let me give you an example right here. You see that? Her situation came off. This was just an example to be careful. This was just an example to be careful out there, guys. I personally, I don't think it's right for you to get in the pool with that thing on when you on that. Anyway, you gotta respect others. All right, you have to respect others. Okay. No, I had something else, but I can't find it. So what I'm gonna have to do is go ahead and I'll answer a few questions. Let me give you the number because I don't know why I can't type it up there right now. Let me give you the number if you want to call in. If not, we're gonna have to close it out. The Google number, because I was trying to put it up here, but I have to get with. Let me see. Can I do it like that? Oh, let me see if this is it. Yep, that's it. There it is. The number that you can call into is 979-398-5875. Again, you can see it on the screen. It is 979-398-5875. Get your questions answered while I'm going to go into a few excerpts with this book. It is titled Folk Medicine, a New England Almanac of Natural Health Care from a noted Vermont country doctor, D.C. Jarvis, M.D. Very powerful book. I'm going to be giving some of these books out during the academy. All right. So, like I said, if you want to call in, 979-398-5875. If you don't, I will not be able to answer your question, unfortunately. So, just want to put it out there. 1 second here. All right. One second. All right. So we got the call-in number. Let me go ahead and go into this book. If any of you have questions, you can go ahead and call in. I know we haven't did call-ins in a while, but I can't read your questions on here. So I really won't want to focus on the screen for every question like that. So let's go into this book here. We are in, let me see what chapter this is. This is, I think, chapter 8. Just got a few excerpts, a few points here. I may give this illustration, which I hope will not unduly disconcert the reader. To observe what happens to bacterial life when vinegar is used. Get an angleworm. This is fair use, YouTube. I'm not saying these are our views. We're just reading from doctors and research for educational purposes only. People can take it how they want to take it, okay? To observe what happens to bacterial life when vinegar is used to get an angleworm from the garden and put it on a board or other hard surface where you may observe it. Now pour apple cider vinegar over it. First, it rides as though in pain. In a few seconds, it becomes motionless. In a few seconds more, its pink color disappears and it turns white. The vinegar has caused loss of life in just those few seconds, for the worm is now dead. In the same way, apple cider vinegar will destroy bacteria in your digestive tract. Let me present 4 cases will illustrate what I have written. You might want to pay attention because you know, if you got a little dirt on you, I'm going to rinse it. Go ahead and listen. 2 sisters planned to have fish for dinner. This happens to us all. After smelling the fish, one of them said she believed it was spoiled and should be thrown away. As a matter of fact, let's see how old this book is. Let's see here. This book is pretty old. Can I find it out? (1958). 1958. Just so you guys know. I'll be giving some of these books out in the academy, then I'll give some on the show when I have my biblical trivia very soon. All right, so I plan on having that pretty soon. Might be next week I'll have the biblical trivia, and I have a lot of things to give away. I got brand new nice shoes. I got some of those Judah shoes to give away. Now obviously I only have certain sizes, so hopefully you wear that size. If you don't wear that size, you have to give it to someone else. Okay, so I have a few different things to give away. Okay. Anyway. First, let's see. The vinegar has caused life in just those few seconds, for the worm is now dead. In the same way, apple cider vinegar will destroy bacteria in the digestive tract. Let me present 4 cases. Okay, so now I know where I'm at now. Sorry. After smelling the fish, one of them said she believed it was spoiled and should be thrown away. The other sister smelled it too and believed it was all right. So the fish was cooked and served. I happened to teach one of the sisters to add 2 teaspoons full of apple cider vinegar to a glass of water whenever she suspected that some food which was taken not quite right. Some of you out there may know this from your grandparents or whatever. So some of us already knew this stuff. She was a cooking school graduate, and from time to time we discussed the preparation of foods for eating. So the first thing she did, now before starting to eat the fish, was to put 2 teaspoons full of apple cider vinegar in a glass of water and take 2 or 3 swallows before eating. She suggested that her sister, whom she was visiting in Massachusetts, do likewise. But the sister thought it was unnecessary. Oh, girl, I ain't finna do all that. You know how some of our sisters is. In a short time, the Massachusetts sister developed an attack of diarrhea, whereas her Vermont sister, having protected herself by the dose of apple cider vinegar and water, maintained a normal digestive tract and suffered no discomfort. I just want to put it out there of a certain few things. I'll go more deep into this, but just tonight to show you the power of apple vinegar. Now, yes, we sell, certain things of apple cider vinegar on our site, but you can also just take some apple cider vinegar in your, your cabinet and deal with it. All right. Let's go to the next little section here. This one's about weight loss. We're on page 73 about being overweight. All of us have gotten overweight before. when I messed my ankle up, boy, I sure gained some weight on me I never had. But as a matter of fact, let's start here. Having observed, he talks a lot about apple cider vinegar in here and iodine. We already know the importance of iodine, but I'm going to come on here again to speak to you about iodine. Okay. Having observed, let me relax a little bit. Having observed what apple cider vinegar does to improve the health of the digestive tract, let us observe its effect on the kidneys and bladder. When the human individual taking 2 teaspoons of the vinegar in a glass of water each meal passes urine in a vessel at night, the following morning it will be noted that no red dust-like deposits present in the vessel. This shows that a marked chemical change has taken place in the urine. If there is inflammation in the kidneys called phthalitis, in which pus cells are present in the urine, generally the condition will be cleared up by taking a mixture of 2 teaspoons full of apple cider vinegar in a glass of water. For 15 years, a married woman, 48 years of age, had been subject to attacks of, it's spelled Pyelitis, Pylitis. Attacks came sometime as often as every 6 weeks, and never was she free of them. I am not saying this book cures or does anything. I am not saying it. Our church is not saying it. We're just reading information for educational purposes only, for holistic things. We're just putting it like that. For those who have ears, let them hear. All right? Free of them for more than 2 or 3 months, she began taking the apple cider vinegar and found she was free from pyelitis. When she had been free of any attack for 1 year, she discounted the apple cider vinegar, believing she no longer needed it. 4 weeks later, the pyelitis developed again with chills, a temperature of 103 degrees, and pain in the region of the left kidney. Sometimes you have to understand something. When people have so-called deleted something or got rid of something, you think it can't come back. You have stopped your discipline. This is what Christ was trying to tell us. Be it to you as unto your faith. If I heal you and you go back to doing the same thing, the disease will come back. If I heal you, what's the point of me anointing you over and over if you're just going to continue to sin? If you're just going to go and eat unhealthy again? What's the point? This is what Christ was telling people, like, listen, I can heal you, but according to your mindset and your actions, if you're this person or that person, that's what it's going to be. If you're disciplined and have true faith, you'll be healed forever. You'll continue something good forever. If you're not, you'll start something a little bit and you'll stop. That's what we have learned to become. Oh, I tried that. I did that for a little while. I tell a lot of people who take my supplements, I'm like, if you don't exercise, you don't eat a healthy diet, you expect this to work? You can take 1,000 supplements. You got to be disciplined to metabolize it, or your worms or parasites will eat them from you. I'm not here to waste your money. I'm here to tell you you can do better, and you are better. Check it out. She returned to taking the apple cider vinegar, and clinical condition quieted down. We hear a great deal these days of the effects on daily living, such as disturbances of chronic fatigue, chronic headaches, including perplexing migraine type, high blood pressures, dizziness, and especially because of its association with heart trouble, pressure, dizziness, especially because of its association with heart trouble of overweight. Potassium and associated minerals play a very important part in the approaches of Vermont folk medicine to treatment of these difficulties, and I should like to go into some observations made in the course of my studies. So let's talk about overweight. Let's just get straight to the point of this. Let's see. If a woman whose dress fits tightly will sip 2 teaspoonsful of apple cider vinegar in a glass of water, knowing that obesity is a high thing in America, at each meal. You have a people, guys, I tell you, you have to call in the number. Look at the call-in number. Whatever you want to ask me, call in the number. Can you guys please be obedient? If you just got in and you don't know, it's all good. 979-398-5875 is the call-in number. Okay, I just can't answer the questions that's on here. I can't just read them all, because that means I should have answered the rest of the people's questions that typed them in. That's why we have a call-in number. If a woman who dress fits tightly will sip 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar in a glass of water at each meal, generally, she will find at the end of 2 months that she can take her dress in 1 inch at the waistline. At the end of 2 more months, she will be able to take it in another inch. And by the end of the 5th month, 1 more inch. At the end of 1 year taking apple cider vinegar in this amount, a woman who has taken a size 50 dress will be able to take a size 42. And one who has taken a size 20 to a size 18. At the end of the same time, a younger woman who has worn a size 16 will be able to take to a size 14. Oh, she said, 1 second. She says she think that they're going to voicemail. Give me 1 moment here to see what may be going on if people are calling in. Okay. Because we haven't used this, maybe there's some type of update. Because it says receiving calls. Maybe it's not ringing or something. Let me see something here. 1 moment, people. Alrighty. Let me see. I don't see. Let me see. Okay, so we did have. I don't know why these didn't come up, but let me see really quick. If I missed your call and you guys called in, 1 second. I'm gonna have to probably choose something else, because this was 1 second, people. Let me fix this really quick. Let me see if that's what's going on there. So if you tried to call in, you can try again and let me see. It says November 4th there. So she tried to call it. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, well, give me a second. I'm going to try to call you guys back. I don't know what happened. There must be some type of update I need to deal with. Okay. Let me finish this and I'll call you guys back here. There he goes. Why is it going to voicemail? Okay, I'm getting the calls now. All right, I'm gonna call you guys after this part here. At the end of the same time, a younger woman who has worn a size 16 will be able to take a size 14. All right, so let me take these calls really quick, and I will yeah. The first call I'm going to deal with is 601-473-3149. Please pick up when I call. Let's see. And y'all let me know, can y'all hear the call? Y'all let me know, can y'all hear the caller?
Hello.
Shalom. Have you called into G.O.C.C. Media tonight?
Yes, Shalom, Elder. How are you?
I'm okay. Let me see, can the callers hear us? I mean, can the listeners hear us really quick? Can you guys hear the caller? Guys, in the chat, please say yes if you can. If you don't mind, give me 1 second. Who's calling in tonight?
This is Lois Bullock.
Sister Louis Bullock. Okay, they said they can hear loud and clear. I apologize for missing your call. I think there's an update with this application, and I did not get it. So, you have a question for us tonight or a comment?
Yes. So my question is, first of all, I had a knee injury in a car accident several years ago, and I went to the doctor about 4 months ago, and she did X-rays and whatnot. She said that my padding in my knee had worn out, and so I'm wondering, with that happening, can I still exercise, to work on my knee, or what should I do?
I'm going to tell you this. How old are you, first off, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 63.
Okay, so what I would do, in my opinion, I would take first some bands, like some stretch bands that they sell on Amazon and stuff like that. I will first do that, and I would try to, when I'm sitting in a chair or sitting in a bed, put them on my ankle or something, and try to start moving that the quadriceps in the knee area like this. You first doing that, and then I would try to get one of those quadricep machines that works the quads, and I would try to, even if you have to get a small gym membership or get one of these exercise machines at home, I will start working those quads. I will start working the calves, because you want to try to get as much muscle fibers, the small muscle fibers around that injury, strong enough so you can be able to use that knee the way you want to. Also, I would be eating, let me finish. I would be eating omega-3, 6, and 9s. I deal with a lot of flax in my bread, in my bread or whatever. I also eat healthy fats to lubricate the joints. I eat coconut oil. I eat olive oil. And just whatever else, whatever other healthy fats like butter. I also deal with copper. On my Lions Homestead site, we sell colloidal copper, and I'm going to have like copper biglycinate, which is one of the best absorption of coppers out there. Now, it's only recommended to take 2 milligrams of copper, because some people feel nausea and things like that. I don't feel nausea when I take my colloidal copper, but when I start taking my biglycinate, I have to get that thing measured really right for me to take it. So I got me a little scale. So 2 milligrams, no more of copper a day. It's what the doctors recommend out there. Copper. I'm going to go in. I got a whole book, and I'm going to go into a whole lot about copper when it comes to inflammation and pain and ligaments and tendons and things like that. Actually, believe it or not, and collagen. Actually, I got to be careful what I say on here. I'm just saying it can do some wonderful things. Also taking things like high vitamin C, because I do that because I had 2 knee injuries. So when a person needs to get that collagen going, what do they need? They need vitamin C. So whether you got bone broth or you're taking beef collagen or something like that, the vitamin C should be as high as one can take it. Personally, me, I know people might think I'm crazy, but I take 10 to 12,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day. And guess what? I read books on people who have done that, and people thought they was crazy. They never got sick. So, but not only that, it helps to make that collagen form. Also, things like MSM. MSM is why I started my supplement company, because I had these knee issues. MSM, upon me taking it for 6 months, all I'm going to say is, because I got to be careful how I say it on here, it did some wonderful things. And I'm going to have that on my Lions Homestead site very, very soon. Within a week or two, that's going to be on there. So those are the main things to keep it simple. Like, those are the main, most powerful things, in my opinion. And always, like, working the quadriceps, doing some of these movements, the mobile and functional squats, like sitting in the lowest squat position that you can eventually. You don't have to start it in one day. You can hold on to a door handle. You can hold on to something, and you start sitting in that position, and you slowly start squatting up. What's going to happen is those knees will be strengthened. Like putting your heels on something and letting your calves be kind of like, upwards, like I showed you guys in that video. That is going to force the knees to, it's going to put a lot of, not wear and tear, but it's going to put a lot of force on the knees to strengthen them in time. And guess what? Little by little, you're going to start to gain little muscle fibers around that whole area. And if you're taking these things and it starts to do some miracles, you're also going to be shocked. Because let me tell you, things I couldn't do before that they said, oh, you would never be able to do. Let me tell you, I've been doing that and way more. So I believe that the body can regenerate in way more ways than we actually know. But you do need to take your omega-3, 6, and 9s, especially those 3s. You do need to have healthy fats on a regular basis. Only healthy fats. But I eat a lot of butter. I eat that retinol in there actually helps with that copper, believe it or not. And I'm going to go into that in the book. So butter, healthy fats, collagen, whether you make it in your broth or whether you're getting beef collagen. We do have collagen on our site. MSM, copper, no more than 2 milligrams. But like I said, we make colloidal copper, so you can't really tell how much, but it does amazing things. But we will have the other one, so if a person wants to say, hey, this is how much I'm getting every day, these main things, in my expertise and opinion, all I'm going to say is, hey, and you start working those legs more with the heel on the platform and the calves down, you're going to start to see some improvement. You can walk backwards. You can walk backwards up a hill, but like I said, you're a little older. Take it very easy. You can get on a treadmill, walk backwards. Just walking backwards helps the knees too. So you can get on YouTube and type in exercises for the knees. Do this consistently. Transition yourself to where you're eventually adding a little weight eventually. Body weight is enough, but eventually, if you add a little weight, you're just going to be even more stronger. The stronger you are in your legs, my sister, even if you sit on a chair and start squatting up and down, let me tell you, you will be amazed at the consistency of what that's going to do for those knees, all right?
Okay.
So hopefully that helped you, my sister.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Shalom.
All right.
Shalom.
All right. Shalom.
All righty. So we got her. Let me get my other caller, because I did not know that they were actually calling in. All right. Let me fix this thing here, because it just. All right. So we got that one there. Next one we have 443 413 5725. Let me call that one there. Thank you guys for being patient. Hello.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom. Who is this here?
Next one we have. Yeah, I'm calling Elder Rawchaa.
Okay, who is this here?
Brother Lewis Tyson from the DMV congregation.
Well, shalom, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself, Elder?
I'm blessed, my brother. I am blessed. You have a question or comment for us tonight?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have a question and a short comment. Like you said, the comment first. Like you said, you're never too old. I have there's an 83-year-old Korean lady in my neighborhood, Korean sister in my neighborhood, and there's no one around here that can outwalk her.
Okay.
And she works on her garden every day. So you're right about that.
All
and she looks like she's 53 instead of 83. So
and why
that's one thing.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I see her in the garden squatting, working on the garden, and she squats. I mean, she's down squatting low.
Yes, sir.
And she stays in that position for, I don't know, maybe many minutes. I see her doing that, and then I see her walking. I mean, maybe she walks maybe 4 or 5 times a day. I don't know what she does in her home, but, as far as outside, I see her walking all the time.
You know what's funny? Now I'm only 41, sir, but I haven't done that move in so long, and I've been doing it recently. But I used to squat like that, and I said, man, I hadn't done this in so long after I injured my Achilles. Man, when I tried to do that thing, I had to start holding onto the door too, like everybody else. And I said, man. And so I worked myself up slowly, because what happens is your ankles feel like you're overstretching them and all that, but it's a good thing. So I told me and my wife, I said, listen, let's just start slow. Before you know it, now we start, we was able to hold that thing without hands, and then before you know it, you start adding a little weight to it. And then you sitting there, you're like, man, I can do this for a while. I'm like, if I'm in the wilderness and we ain't got no chairs, I might be all right in a little bit. So it just takes starting slow, man, So I commend that lady for doing that,
Yes, sir. And I've learned from that, and and I try to squat a lot, as much as I can. No weight squats, but just squatting. But I like what you showed me today, a while ago.
Yes, sir.
You let my ankles, my heels come up. So
yeah, it will definitely, in time, the more you do it, and everybody has to pace themselves, because everybody got different issues, lower back, knee, whatever. But in time, you're just allowing that weight to slowly be able to, those legs to slowly be able to handle that distribution of that weight. And in time, before you know it, you're like, man, listen, I'm all right here. Because those hips are just very important. Because a lot of times they'll say when you got to get a hip replacement, it takes away from your lifespan. So, I think we should all try to just slowly start something and build up to it. Because squatting every day, it's really a full body exercise. Even if you're not working the upper body, the squatting will handle everything. Like I said, it produces growth hormone and all that. You know what I mean? So, but you had a question as well?
Yes, sir. So my left shoulder, it's only sometimes when I lift it a certain way, there's a sharp pain that goes in there. Yeah. And also too, if I'm lifting, maybe an overhead press or a certain way I'm lifting, or even if I'm pulling up, because I was doing clean and jerks one time, and I think that's where it started. So it runs from the upper part of my shoulder, feel like from the inside, to the back of my neck, to maybe a quarter way down my back.
Okay, so I believe it or not, I have an AC joint injury here from lifting with improper form, because they didn't teach us when we were in basketball class and football. They just told us to lift weights like some slaves. But so that ended up, so when I go above my shoulder, I can kind of feel it as if it's like a clavicle AC joint injury. And so you have to try to work around those injuries, or I didn't want to get surgery on this stuff. So personally, I'm like, listen, I'll deal with it like this. But I'm able to still lift heavy and do a lot. But every now and then it bothers me. But I do try to be smart around it. So you can go to a chiropractor and see, could they give you some information. I think that's very important. You can also get yourself realigned. A lot of black people, we don't know about getting realigned. And I think getting aligned every now and then is very, very important. We have a brother in Dallas. We have a beautiful brother in Dallas. I don't know if you want me to put his name out there, but he come and visit. He come and visit every now and then. He fix you up in like 3 minutes. I said, brother, we got to pay you to come down to Houston and fix everybody up. He touched my finger, whoop, fix that up. Touch this, oh, you got a rib out of place. I'm like, what do you mean? crack me, snap, crack, or pop with me real quick. You know what I mean? And fix me up so quick. And you get everything flowing right, because sometimes you can sleep a certain way. Some can get out of whack. These things can happen just from something basic. So start getting aligned at least, because, you know, I don't know the prices in every area, but, you know, if you can find a fair price, start getting yourself aligned. And that will really do some justice on that shoulder. Because if you don't start there, you may not know if it was even that deep. Because sometimes you can lift weights, it will throw stuff all out of whack if you go too heavy or make a certain move. You know what I mean? So just try that there.
Yes, sir.
And and you can take some of that same stuff that I told the other caller, copper, MSM, you understand, vitamin C, collagen, if there was something torn. So, but my main thing is, hey, go get it looked at first and just see what you have going on first. And then there you can go from there. I personally didn't like to get surgery on the area. I mean, I healed my own Achilles. It heals itself. My knees, all of this stuff pretty much healed itself. And so, you know, you just got to at least go get looked at to see what you're dealing with first. Well, thank you for calling in the show, sir. I really appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate you all.
You too, sir. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, I have 6. Let me see. Do I have someone else here? All right. I think. All right, I think I got those callers. So I'm going to get these other excerpts really quick. And then we're going to get ready to get out of here if we don't have any more callers. All righty. And we're almost done. Thank you for your time. So we have one about honey. Chapter 9, the usefulness of honey. So in his laboratory, he placed various disease germs in a pure honey medium and waited. The results astounded him. Within a few hours' time, or at most a few days, each of the disease microorganisms died. The typhoid fever-producing germs died within 48 hours. Other similar germs called A and B typhosis perished after only 24 hours. This is talking about raw honey. Okay? And the relation. I'm just going to say relation like that to these things. A microorganisms found in the bowel movements and water which resembled a typhoid bacillus died in 5 hours. We have another caller here. 609-346-8435. All righty. I'm sorry, I didn't put your whole number out there, but you don't have to say your name. I was just supposed to say the area code. My mind all over the place in this book. Hello?
Hello, yes, sir. How are you today?
You don't have to say your name because I accidentally said your whole number. I was just supposed to say the area code. My bad. My mind all over the place. What's your question today? What body are you from?
My question is, I'm a part of G.O.C.C. New Jersey, okay, and I'm calling in as for nitric oxide. What is a healthy way for nitric oxide?
Just get you some. You either gonna juice you some beets, or on my site KIIYsupplements.com we have something called beetroot. I take it every day. I don't go without it because it really. If you wake up in the morning sluggish and you need things flowing and moving, that beetroot is like, my mom takes it every day, my wife, me, it is really, really, really powerful. And even when I go to the gym and I want a good pump, I got to take that beetroot. But I do take it with ashwagandha because ashwagandha boosts my mood, it boosts your libido, it keeps that testosterone, promotes healthy testosterone and things like that. So you get you some beetroot. Because L-arginine... Okay. If you don't get a good L-arginine and don't know if it has like duck feathers or something in there, then you may not have a good one. So sometimes in China, they're not going to tell you that they be putting some of this wrong stuff in some of these supplements. So go for the beetroot. Because you only have a few companies that's going to have vegan L-arginine. So usually it's L-arginine or it's beetroot. But we just deal with the beetroot. We do have a vegan L-arginine. But we're going to bring that back in stock soon. So for right now, get you
Okay.
some beetroot, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
My man. Shalom. All right. There's someone who just called. Let me get them really quick. I done said the man whole number. Lord have mercy. My mind all over the place. I want to put the brother number out there. I had these crazy people folk calling him. Yeah, you part of G.O.C.C. Looking self. All right, let me get this. All right, who just? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me make this bigger so I can see the calls that I've missed really quick. Because there was just a person calling in. What is going on with this thing? Okay, if you called in, called again, because for some reason you called in while I was speaking to that person and I could not see your number. I do not know why. Yeah, just call in again. I don't see your number. There we go. 720 area code. We have a 720 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Brother Orlando from the DMV body. How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I was calling in because the lady had mentioned, so I'm a physical therapist, and the first caller, she had mentioned that her doctor took an x-ray and then talked to her about like the padding in her knees. And I see people all the time that these doctors, they do the x-rays and the MRIs, and basically they manipulate people into different procedures because, you know, arthritis and like
allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, so they all like the arthritis and like the eroding of the pads and the joints. That's like having like gray hairs, you know, and that's the way that I learned it in school. And so commonly people will get these like hip replacements and knee replacements, and I'll work with them for months and they'll still have a lot of dysfunction and a lot of pain, is because whatever was causing their pain initially had absolutely nothing to do with what they found in the MRI or the X-ray.
So what do you do?
Well, I still, my job is really to just help people get as functional as possible.
Okay.
And so doing that through a lot of like strengthening. I don't really talk to people too much about nutrition stuff.
Gotcha.
Mainly because I'm still learning a lot. Like some of the stuff you said tonight really was beneficial for me and like my knowledge and even like my own.
Okay.
Like fitness and like wellness.
But you know a little bit about what this topic we're talking about as far as this pad. So yeah, that's pretty interesting though, because like it's crazy because some of us had to step out of faith, either not having the finances or just having faith in, you know, in the Most High, and not having faith in some of these surgeries, not because some of these surgeries don't always go right. And we realized like, hold up, man, like you mean to tell me they was gonna charge me this much? Let me tell you something, guys out there. Excuse me. My Achilles, I'm doing all this research. They trying to charge me all this money. You can tell the angels are dealing with us and still healing us, because every time at about 3 or 4 in the morning, this is when my Achilles, it feels like there was somebody there pulling it together, but it sounded like a sound. It was like, I remember this sound every night. At 3 a.m., it felt like somebody it was something just tying my Achilles back together without any surgery. It heals itself, guys. Just as long as you keep it in the proper place with, like, you know, your brace on it or whatever the case may be, or your boot. We will be really shocked at how perfect the Most High made us when it comes to a broken bone. I mean, there's some things I can't say on here. about things that do a lot of miracles, but that people just
Yeah.
have in their gardens. Like I have in my garden right now. But man, definitely. Thank you for that information. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, that was it. Just second what you were saying with all like the food and the just keep moving and yeah, really. If you could walk, I tell my patients like regardless of what they got going on, if they could walk for at least like 15 minutes, like continuously, like not like you walk over here and do something and walk over here and do something. Like you actually like walk like continuously, you'll do a lot as far as your health like journey and just increasing your wellness. So yeah, that's it.
Well, praise the Most High, man. I thank you for calling in and just strengthening the people's faith with that, my brother.
Yes, sir.
My
Have
man.
a good night. Shalom.
You too now. Shalom. Let me call this 314 area code really quick back. Let me see it here.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? Did you call into the show tonight, G.O.C.C. Media?
Yes. Yes, Elder. Thank you for giving me a call back. I have a question for you. My name is Shelly.
Okay.
And my son is a swim instructor for one of the local governments in Allen. And so he's 16. So do you still recommend that he keeps the job, or because of the toxicity in the water, what do you recommend?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now. I can't, I don't want to take away from what somebody's doing, but if I have my personal opinion for my son and I found it out personally, I just wouldn't have them doing that, knowing that. But you can't do anything overnight. I mean, you have the transition with everything. I get it. So it's really just a family choice. It's just really just a family choice. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to push some fear mongering and say somebody's gonna die for going swimming. I mean, we were swimming in them pools for years upon years, and we still here. So I'm just telling you, once we get knowledge and we can go about things a little differently, in my opinion, we should try to. There's some people out there who have pools and they got salt in their pools, and they don't let everybody get in them. So even if I want to take my children swimming, I know I was gonna take them swimming one day, and I said, I'm sorry guys, I had to cancel that Airbnb because. So I'm like, I had to take you guys to something I had to do a little research on and make sure how many people are getting in that pool or whatever the case may be. So that's just my opinion on that. It's not law, you know what I mean? It's just some information this pool guy put out. I believe what he's saying, and we just have to try to choose the pools that don't have too many people in it. That's all.
Okay, well, yeah, it's his job. It's a little job, but he's only been there for maybe 2 months now.
Okay.
And he could grow with it. But yeah, okay, we'll take that in consideration. And just one more thing, and if it's okay, I don't want to say too much, but I did listen to you about the iodine,
yes,
right?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And I just want to let anybody know that if they have, like, from my own testimony, shingles or anything in that family, once you start utilizing the iodine, you will see results. You won't have as many, if I can say, outbreaks.
Well, just say it in a wise way, because we can't say that anything heals or cures on here out of respect of the government we're under now.
Well, I'll just say you guys see a positive outcome, and you have to keep doing it. And when I backslid and then I ate junk a little bit, I can see that it didn't work as well. So I just want to give that testimony, and I just want to tell you thank you for just the information of knowing about that.
Where are you from, my sister?
I initially St. Louis.
Okay, thank you so much for calling in. We really appreciate your information tonight, my sister. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Shalom. See, listen, people calling in with some powerful testimonies, man. Let me tell you. People are calling in with some powerful testimonies, man. Wow. All right, listen, they gonna keep calling in, so y'all know I got to eat soon, huh? I smell that food out there, too. 407 area code. Who we have calling tonight?
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, 407 area code. Who we have calling in tonight?
This is Sister Yvonne from the Florida body. How are you?
Shalom. How you doing, my sister?
All praises be to the Most High. I just wanted to call and thank you for all the advice that you gave me for my daughter when I don't know if you remember, we were messaging back and forth that she had problems with her knee and she was walking and her legs were swollen. And you gave me a whole bunch of advice, and she followed up on everything, and we got some supplements from your website, and she is her normal. Actually, she's going to be 20 years old tomorrow, so she's her normal 20-year-old. She's walking about, and every morning she's like, "Oh, I got to take my supplements." So I just wanted to thank you so much for helping me bring her back, because the doctors they didn't even know what was wrong with her.
Well, listen, it's the
all
Most
praises
High.
be to the Most High. Yes, all praises be to the Most High.
Listen,
Thank you so much. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, my sister. I appreciate you sharing that. This is about Christ. This is what Christ doing, and he just passed the baton to the disciples, and the disciples passed it to us, and we just trying to make sure we do right by our people. Love you, my sister. Shalom.
Khan. Shalom. All praises.
Shalom. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So somebody gonna try to tell me I'm gonna be fasting tonight. I don't know what they cooking in there, but that thing is smelling homesteady. You know. Yes, indeed. I'd rather be on my homestead. So we were reading about this honey. We got the copper really quick. We only got like 2 more pages here. I don't know if the calls are going to let me get through it. I'm going to try to get through it really quick. And if I don't, I have a whole nother session on copper. I'm glad, Ramar, if you're out there, I'm glad you went into the covenant of salt, because I actually had that as a lesson. It was a spirit. Me and my brother, man, me and Ramar started together. We think just alike in a lot of ways. And so we be bouncing ideas and all type of stuff off each other for so many years, man. I'm glad he went into that. It was a powerful lesson. If you didn't check it out on Friday, he did the covenant of the salt, because a lot of people try to tell you salt is not good and all of this stuff. But I try to stick with the Most High's diet and everything that he said, because it keeps us in the right way. Like a lot of people say, don't eat butter. No, don't not eat butter. The angels came down and ate butter. They was eating raw milk, drinking raw milk, eating butter, eating that beef, fresh beef. That's what they were eating. You know what I mean? That was some of the sacrifices that they were eating when they came down. And the stuff you need to not be eating is that fake butter. So let me get this really quick so I can get out of here. And I appreciate your patience and you guys tuning in tonight. Copper seems to unlock the therapeutic, once again, fair use for educational purposes only, not to claim any healings, any type of cures from this book. We're just reading this book for educational purposes only. Not trying to break the rules. Why would we want to break the rules of the FDA and the government of the United States of America and YouTube? Why would we want to do that? You guys are lovely. Copper seems to unlock the therapeutic powers of iron. If you guys have been hearing Dr. Brian Artis, he comes on and speaks about if people are dealing with anemic issues. You know, so if you are taking iron and it's still not helping, come to LionsHomestead.com. Come holler at us about the copper, because it may be that, okay, it's not that you don't have iron, you are lacking copper. All right? Like I said, we have copper biglycinate, one of the best absorptions out there. Okay, quality. You're going to see that up. It should be up within a week or two. I already have it, but I'm finished putting it together and all that. Okay. But we have the colloidal copper until then. We have so many things we're putting up on there that's so powerful, I can't speak them on here. So pay attention really quick. And we're going to go into a whole lesson on copper and iodine. Okay? Copper seems to unlock the therapeutic powers of iron in restoring hemoglobin content in the blood in patients afflicted with anemia. Please do not go out there and start overloading your body with copper. then you will be getting copper toxicity. You will have vomiting, you will start throwing up, you will have severe headaches, because there are severe headaches that we're learning that can happen mostly in women with copper toxicity. Trust me, the headache feel like somebody is punching you in your head. All right? So when you get information, like I said on the academy, you can't just overload your body with something. You have to know how much to deal with. The recommended dose is 2 milligrams. But even with that, anything you're taking new your body has not been getting, you start very slow. I would start with a quarter. Deal with a quarter a few days. Next week, I probably start with half. You move it up. You always become, transition. All right? I don't got to give y'all this wisdom. In other words, copper promotes the action of iron. Just like I told you about vitamin C with iron, if you don't have copper, this is the secret weapon. So for those of you who have been struggling with anemia for years, you got a glass of ice chewing it while you're watching my lesson right now. You eating ice right now. Because you got varicose veins, which can cause you stroke or heart attack as you get older, especially if you don't exercise. Oh my goodness. If you don't exercise, it's even worse. Holler at your boy on the copper. Okay? Anyway. Or you don't have to get it from me. I'm joking. But I'm just putting the information out there for you. In other words, copper promotes the action of iron. We don't know yet fully the advantages of including manganese in the diet. But we do know enough about the subject to appreciate that it is a valuable adjunct to the diet. Some are of the opinion that it functions more or less interchangeably with copper, or as a supplement to it, aiding the formation of hemoglobin in the blood. Others, however, hold that iron is helped in the business of building hemoglobin by copper alone. Yet they find also evidence and other connections to support their opinions that manganese has a very specific function of its own with its nutrition. Now you can get manganese. You can get manganese in different ways, but I'm going to tell you, this is not the focus on here. The copper. We're going to go into, I got a whole book on, this. It's not going to be enough if you're just drinking out of a copper vessel. I have a big water vessel for my house, a big giant joint. It's pure copper. We keep our water in there that keeps it cold, but it's not enough copper for the whole family. So, But when you do things like that, you don't need too much copper, is what I'm saying. You can get copper in honey, but the problem is you don't know how much. So those who may be dealing with anemia, even men, a lot of men can deal with anemia and may not know why they don't have a lot of energy. Your copper is low. Let me tell you guys something. I had pain from lifting the 100-pound dumbbells standing shoulder press. I had a pain for about 8 months. And I didn't know what I was lacking. Okay. I'm thinking I'm getting enough for the copper vessel. Oh no. I said, you know what? I've always been taking colloidal silver and copper since 2000, since Elder Rawchaa went into it in like 2000, late 7, 8, something like that. And I've been taking it since then. My energy was always crazy. And when I moved overseas, I didn't really have all that. We had silver, colloidal silver, but not the copper and the gold. So I make the copper, I make the gold, I make the silver, I make all these things. But the copper I started taking, instantly, the same day, that pain that would not go away for all that time was gone. So a lot of times let me tell you something that you may not know. Without copper, because Yarac been sending me some extra research too. Without copper, it says you're running on fumes. Without copper, it says you're running on fumes. It makes the pain receptors, even if it makes the pain receptors come on as if there's pain, guys. Without copper. I'm just telling you. All right. See, you want to miss my lessons? Miss them. Miss them. You miss me with that stuff. Go on somewhere. We don't listen. Go ahead and watch the Catholic Church somewhere. You want to miss Elder Rawchaa lessons? You want to miss Elder Lawya's lessons? You want to miss Elder Ramar's lessons? Okay, miss it. Well, you're going to miss out. See, you never know when you're going to get that jewel. You never know when the Most High is going to throw something out there for the people. Okay? So we're going to let this be for the wise only. The basis, you could be like the people in the scriptures that Paul was talking about. Oh, I just listen to my elder. Okay, listen to your elder. He loved me too. I love him. He loved me. I'm sure he ain't telling you don't watch me. I'm sure he ain't telling you don't watch the other elders. Oh, I like Apollos. I like Paul. Listen, you keep all that crap. All right? You just a hater. All right? Turn your hate into admiration real quick while I give you this game from the Holy Spirit. Hear it or forbear it. Let's talk about what's written in the book of Jasher that's in this book. I'm putting this information out as fair use and educational purposes only about honey. When we were young, our moms used to say put corn syrup. They used to say put corn syrup so we won't be constipated with the little rice cereal in the bottles and all that. We should have been on the breastfed, but whatever. The basis for all baby food, but mother's milk is cow's milk. Check this out. Oh, now I know the people gonna be mad you call in because you interrupting their little time, but it's okay. We gonna let you call in. 478 number. Who's calling in tonight?
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom. Who's this?
Daniel. Oh, Daniel.
Where you from, my brother?
Well, I was from Georgia. Right now, I'm in Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that where you from?
Yeah.
You from Mexico, like originally or something?
I was born in Mexico, but yeah.
Okay.
We talked before.
Okay. So
I don't know if you remember.
I think I remember you. What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about iron pots or copper pots are safe to use, or?
Yeah, I got cast iron. Copper pots you just don't want to cook with any acid because it's going to leach too much copper inside of the of your food. So now you can use the acid of ketchup and things like that to clean the copper, vinegar and things like that. So that's to clean the copper. But if you're going to cook in copper pots, I personally don't recommend it because who wants to think about every time they're trying to cook, should I put this or should I put that? So I use stainless steel. I use cast iron and things like that for the most part. I got some other stuff in there too, but I mostly drink out of. So we drink out of copper. We drink out of silver. We drink out of stainless steel. We got wooden spoons, silver spoons, stainless steel spoons. But I really have copper only to drink, like, certain things out of it, and I don't really cook in it just because of that. So every metal you got to be careful with. Just because we use it in the scripture, you still got to research it to see how it was used. They got bronze pots. They got different things, but you just got to know, these things before you deal with them. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Waldo. Where do I get information about the pots or about the metals? How to use them?
Oh, you talking about the pots?
Yeah. Using the metals for health.
Oh, well, you might have to you can Google things like that. You can get them on YouTube. But you talking about what type of metals? You talking about like
for iron and copper.
Well, you don't need to be really taking iron like that. You could just because you could just eat iron and red meat. But if you really need more iron, we have something called we have like a little cast iron fish that every day I use it in my tea. And I get iron from that, but I make sure that the iron is going in my body by having copper, because copper brings iron into the body, also does vitamin C. All right.
Okay. But thank you, Elder.
Do not take more than 2 milligrams of copper. If it's in like a colloid, like a colloidal copper, is different. You're not going to really overget it with that. But if you're taking a supplement, follow the recommended dose of the supplement, okay?
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
My man. Shalom.
Okay. Shalom.
All right. Well, that was a good call. Let me go ahead and finish getting this real quick. See? The basis for all baby food but mother's milk is cow's milk. Modified and sweetened. And this sweetening often lies, and obviously I'm jumping through, I didn't read it from the beginning. This sweetener is most often used as corn syrup, but many babies cannot tolerate this artificial sweetening agent. This is what they brought us up on in the old days. Oh, your grandmama told you to use this. No, let me tell you something real quick. It becomes more evident every day that a natural sweet is much to be preferred than any manufactured sweet. Honey, this 1958, is the outstanding natural sweet. Most babies can tolerate it, according to the book, because you know what they tell you nowadays. Most babies can tolerate it, and in addition to being sweet, it furnishes minerals supplementing those found in milk as well. We're talking about raw honey, making sure it ain't that doped up honey that they slanging around here. It furnishes minerals supplementing those found in milk as well as a small amount of protein. It possesses antiseptic and a mild laxative action. Besides these advantages, it has a fine flavor which increases palatability. The chief factor is, of course, that it provides the infant with the composite of minerals needed for its own growing body. That's all I'm going to say on it right there, but I'm going to tell you something else. If you're dealing with insulin issues, honey is pre-digested already by the bees, so it does not spike your insulin. Just to let you guys know out there, okay? One more passage, and we're done for the night. Honey bee and bedwetting. It may surprise some that Vermont folk medicine finds in honey a most efficient remedy for prevention of bedwetting in children. When it continues after 3 years of age, bedwetting at night becomes a problem. Yet it is one of the most common conditions met with children and is disturbing both to child and family, because you don't want to smell no pissy clothes and be getting up to clean up pee all the time. So we hooking you up. For a very long time, physicians, when asked what could be done to prevent bedwetting at night, have replied that time would take care of it, the child will outgrow it. This indicated that no definite remedy was commonly known. Symptoms of a habit of bedwetting are clear-cut. In the majority of cases, there is a common characteristic of frequent passing of urine during the day. Let me try to jump to it. One second. I tell you what, because I can't find that, like the exact part, and I'll have to come back to this. Let me see. Hold up. Because I got to get out of here. One second. Okay. I think I got it. However, supposing your child has a habit of bedwetting at night, what would Vermont folk medicine have you do? According to their book, not us. We're just reading a book to the people. At bedtime, give the child a teaspoonful of honey. It will act in two ways. First, it will act as a sedative to the nervous system. Second, as has been said, it will attract and hold fluid during the hours of sleeping. In attracting the holding the fluid, it spares the kidneys. As you continue to use honey for this purpose, you will learn when to use it. You will recognize conditions that are conducive to the difficulty. For example, attendance by the child at a children's party when it is accompanying excitement and liquid refreshments will suggest the wisdom of a teaspoon of honey at bedtime. To any increase in liquid intake, especially after 5 o'clock in the afternoon, will lead you to anticipate that an accident may occur during the night if nerves and the kidneys are not protected. When you have learned to control the situation with the honey at bedtime, begin to experiment by omitting it. I'm going to tell you something. I tested this for myself. Now, obviously, I'm not dealing with bedwetting. But sometimes as men, we have to get up in the middle of the night, or women, and go to the restroom. And I said, okay, let me take a little honey. I slept, and you know what's crazy? Because like right now I'm drinking. It's 9:36 in East Coast time, probably. And I'm going to have to get up. I got this right here. Some little lemon water, probably some apple vinegar. I drank my green juice. I got that. And I'm about to go hit a little workout real quick. But I ate the honey. And I slept really nice without having to really get up. Because it's almost like your body is made to tell you, hey, you might want to get up. It starts to form gas in your stomach. It starts to form gas in your bladder. If you don't go to the restroom, the gas moves from your bladder up to your stomach. This is an alarm system to wake the body up to go to the restroom. The gas will grow to where you start to have pain and inflammation here. The Most High has made our bodies to tell you to get up and go to the restroom so you don't wet the bed. But I noticed when taking the honey, exactly what we just read. For some type of magical way, we ain't talking about magical, but powerful way, it's not a stress on the body. It's almost like it wasn't that deep. And I stopped taking it every night. I just took it that one night just to test it. I was like, hold up. The more and more we wake up, we learn that these people, these diabolical dinosaurs, they have oversimplified things where you got people who's dealing with children and they telling them, take this, do this, taking all your money for something you got in your refrigerator or your cabinet or in your honey box or your or neighbor's farm or a local honey at the store. We read in the book of Jasher that they were feeding the children honey and milk from a rock. Here it is, they tell you take some artificial high fructose corn syrup for a baby to stop constipation when it never made sense. It's like, I'm looking at this thing, how thick it is. How in the hell is that stopping constipation, how thick that is? Just from us hearing things, we think it worked. When it did, it had to be the Most High just keeping us alive, guys. When honey is way lighter, and it literally, let me tell you guys, I got to go get some of my honey out of my boxes. I'm a little late behind, but I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. Just the tip of the iceberg. The really, really good stuff I have to say for the Academy. But I'm still going to hit you with something. So you never know when I'm coming on here, when I have time to come on here with some powerful stuff that I just be holding. All right? So you might want to pay attention to that Lion's Homestead and at KIIYSupplements.com, because I'm going to tell you right now, we got some testimonies that I can't put on here. But, you know, it goes down just like that. So, you know, if you want to know how to get there, those are the sites, or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to get up out of here because I smell like good old food, so I got to go work out so it can go to my muscle and not just sit on my stomach. That's what I like to do. I like to go hit a little push-ups or work out, and it's going to go straight to the muscles and not just fat. And that's a whole nother science that I have to teach y'all about a whole nother time. Okay? So once again, this is it right here. If you heard about that old iodine. You heard about that old iodine. There goes some iron. If the iron ain't working for you, go to LionsHomestead.com and hit up the copper, and you can deal with it. I deal with my iron every day. but I have the copper to balance it. I'm dealing with vitamin C. So come and hollers, get what you need. Vitamin D3 and magnesium balance each other out. Men, if you got low testosterone, this is what you need right here, baby. This is what you need. Is all herbs. And if you got some issues at night, let me tell you, get this joint with the ashwagandha. And let me tell you, you got the beetroot. That thing gonna have you, it pumps the blood in the body. And the sisters can take the beetroot, the ashwagandha, then we got the female gummies. And guess what? I ain't got nothing else to say about it. Y'all, yeah. Oh, if you add that moringa in there, you got your whole aphrodisiac. I'm just telling you right now, I love y'all, and I'm just trying to keep you fruitful and multiplying. All right? So, Lions Homestead, we're adding things every day. All right? Lions Homestead, we're adding things every day. So it just, I'm doing a lot. You got the kefir grains there, one of the top probiotics in the world. You got your silver, you got your gold, copper. No dyes to make the colloidal gold. It ain't no dyes in there. It's no dyes. Okay? This is what it is. Okay, and I'm going to take some of that and I sleep really good. I take these 3 night and morning and I sleep very good. All right? So we got that, but just every day you're going to see something new. I got hand sanitizer coming with silver in there. I got breath freshener. I got mouthwash. I got toothpaste. I got deodorant that works, so you ain't going to be like these third world countries. I got you. Some of this stuff that's out there from 2020, we got some gold on here that's going to deal with that. We got some other stuff called whatever I can't say on here. You better look out. Because when I put it on there, you're going to feel it. That's all I'm going to say. Peace and blessings, no stressing. And don't forget to go to the Hebrew and Bible Academy. It's on historytimes.org. Shalom.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited.